game's to be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money. They say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste if you ain't got no time. Out and about, out chasing paper. The streets of my house and the house always wins like Vegas. Never down for the count. Second win, second nature. Bout mine, never had my hands out. Fuck favors. By design, everything tailored. In my youth, it was shell toes, no Chuck Taylors. Weed soap game, had a game so it's still the same code game, so it's still the same code. We all pay the cost, pay dues. Move with the mind state that I can't lose. On the grind, push a hard line with my linemen. Back when I was young, they said it's all about timing. Feel it's my time, all the stars are aligning. I'm a diamond in the rough, couple cuts got me shining. This game you cannot cop on consignment. In the field, all we do is execute assignments. The game should be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste if you ain't got no time to talk. The game should be sold, not told. So we finna keep everybody broke. They say time is money, they say money talk. I ain't got no time to waste, you ain't got no time to talk.
First, we get into this paper. See, I want it all, plus I'm you and 8 acres. A lot of alcohol, few dad bags of paper. Run this shit like a ship and I'm the sailor. Cold, kinda like it's fresh up out the freezer. Cold, if she ain't talking bread, I don't need her. Soon as I meet her, I'ma fuck her, then I leave her. It's the old Mac knees, treat them all like bottom feeders. Break it down slow for them folks that don't know. I'm a seasoned vet, black belt out the dojo. With a wide range of weapons, so I'm out the holster. Keeping all options open, so many ways that I can fold ya. Told you from the gate, never been about no play. Get it on the go, they never been known for no delay. The game should be sold, not to be told. Keep your mouth shut, don't have to break the mold. Mac knees.
Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I distribute. Break the work down, it's fence the move. Push that work out, I just distribute. A young Pegg mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young Pegg mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor.
I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. You know I'm the boy, get money's what I'm used to.
Keep it straight from the gate, so I don't confuse ya. I'm a D-boy, need abusive as users. I'ma make noise, shout to my producer. I'm an entertainer, but I ain't here to amuse ya. Yeah, fuck with shooters and they all fucking users. Come through, wake that ass up like a rooster, hella early in the morning. Early bird gets a worm. Finna get rich for 'em, food for the worms. Cutting cocaine, dumping whole things. It's a cold game, make you run your gold chain. Hungry, but I'm moving in a keto state. For sure, I beat the price on the keys in your state. Catch me running up a tail, fucking up a bag. Make me wonder how long will a good thing last. On my Curtis Mayfield, live a life I can't chill. Push a man, pushing packs, all I do is make squeal. Keep it 100, I'm just numb, yo, I can't feel none of these suckers when they say they real. Stacking Uber cash, I'm an out-of-state supply. Random Uber man, he a getaway drive. Just a young Pegg mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the foreign or I'm hopping out the Uber. Crew clocking chips opposite of you losers. Can't be broke as a joker, got no sense of humor. Just a young Pegg mover, shot to my consumer. Jumping out the motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's where the most high, we the most lit.
Hey, what up, what up? It's Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you.
What is going on, everybody? The Neon Peacock joining you, filling in.
Yeah. Shout out to Nelly Nell. He'll be back with us next week when we start our Halloween horror series. Oh yeah. And Bogey should be in sometime tonight. Cool. And for everyone asking, getting down on some fantasy questions, we're taking the night off. Oh man, we're beat with fantasy. We'll be back tomorrow morning and tomorrow night answering some questions. Tonight, we're talking about Ready Player One. Oh man. This is like a new age classic. 2018, this movie came out. The rights for the movie got bought in 2010 when the rights for the book got bought. So it was really crazy. It was like they sold the book rights and the movie rights in the exact same year. And I think they already started creating the screenplay of the movie, or the script at least, before the book was even 100% complete.
Wow, yeah, I wasn't aware of that. 2010's a long time ago, so it took a while for that to come to fruition, but glad it did. It's an awesome movie. I've seen it twice over, so excited to talk about it tonight. Break it down.
Yeah. And I mean, someone who was really excited about this movie was Steven Spielberg. So they said Warner Brothers bought the movie rights right away, and they put it in Steven Spielberg's hands because literally, if you like. I've only got through like 25% of the audiobook. Like I've gotten through like 4 out of the 16 hours. It's so long, but there's so many pop culture references like in the book. So they had him read the script and then they had him like read the book. And he was like he was getting all nerdy, hella nerdy, because like, man, there's a lot of references from the shit that I did in the 80s. And so he said he was like right on board after reading the script and the movie. He said they had no idea how they were gonna like create it into like a visual work of art, but man, they did such a good job.
Yeah, no kidding. I guess when they bought the rights, so long ago. I don't know when did you say he got a hold of that script? Would you imagine?
In the beginning, in 2010. So the guy Ernest Cline, he's the mastermind behind the entire book and everything. He said that when they got it to Steven Spielberg, it was like the most nerve-wracking like 2 weeks of his life, because like he was like, I can't even imagine what it would be if Steven Spielberg made this movie. Like when he wrote I don't even know how long he was writing the book, for years, when he's writing this book, and like all these references, whole bunch from Steven Spielberg in the 80s, and then he ends up directing the movie. Pretty surreal.
Right. Yeah, definitely. There's a bunch of nods to some old, Hollywood blockbusters that Spielberg directed, visually throughout the movie, that they don't, talk about.
Yeah.
Halfway, or kind of just have the movie on in the background. You're not paying attention. You won't catch any of that stuff. So several Easter eggs right off the bat, which is just great to see if you're, into pop culture, into the 80s stuff like I am. I was born in the 80s, and so kind of obsessed with it. Kind of growing up, it's weird because me growing up, I was kind of like, the 80s, like there's nothing really special about it. That was like, I guess, mid 90s when I was thinking about that. It wasn't that far removed. But then now, everybody's kind of infatuated with that stuff now, and you kind of have that nostalgia factor. So really cool to see a lot of that stuff in the movie visually, of course. Things that you grew up with, seeing in summer blockbusters and things like that.
Oh yeah. And Tino said you got through the copper key in the book. Yeah. So I'm pretty much like right at the copper key when you won that. Yeah. And that's one of the big differences in the book compared to the movie. In the movie, there's 3 keys, and in the book, there's 5 keys. But,
it's the 16 hours.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I mean, that's just how it's going to be in like literally every book is like it could just cover more time than a 2-hour movie. It's just the way it goes. What up, Daniel Barry? And Joe said the book's way different. Yeah, because like, I mean, one of the things, I haven't even got there yet, but just when I'm watched all the behind the scenes from the DVD and everything like that. And one of the things that got added into the movie that wasn't in the book was the whole Shining sequence. That whole thing was thrown in for the movie. It was not in the book. There was different references to other movies and books that were similar, but The Shining wasn't one of those. And I didn't get that far, so.
That was a great reference in the book, though. You know, I loved it. They made it a huge part of the of the movie. I think it took quite a bit of screen time. So a huge nod to The Shining. If you've seen The Shining or you're a fan of that horror genre of the time, then definitely a good couple of minutes there. Just a lot of references from the maze to the axes to the
and
you name it. The elevator. We'll get there.
And they said that Steven Spielberg was real like nerded out like for that. Like, wow, we get to remake like parts of The Shining. Super cool. So it was just cool all around for everybody. And it's like it's all foreshadowing. It's all guessing what these things are going to be like. That I think is like the coolest part out of everything, because we have really no idea what it's going to be like in 2045. But that's when this movie like takes place, and it starts off in the stacks is what they call it. And like, I guess the only way that I can even explain this for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's like a trailer park that's just vertical, that just goes straight up, because everyone's living in a trailer, but they're not. It's like buildings and structures of like trailers just going up and up and up and up.
Yeah, for sure. It's a trailer park Jetsons or something, but they're literally right on top of each other. It's not high rises. It's nothing beautiful about it. Looks like a bunch of RVs on stilts, kind of just Lego connects on top of each other or whatever it may be. But literally called the stacks for a reason. So
yeah. And I mean, one of the things that they were saying behind the scenes, if they were going to make this like it was in the book, they would have had to go like 3 or 4 times higher, and it would have been like, just spread out just insanely more than it is like right here. And I think they filmed it in London, they said, but the place that this is taking place is Cleveland, Ohio.
Ohio looks bleak in the future.
For sure. And I mean, even in the beginning, when you really don't, I mean, if you don't know anything about the movie, it's just, you can tell it's something futuristic. It's funny as he's like jumping down, through the different trailers. You see like just people with the VR headsets on, like one person's like fucking boxing, like in there. Some dude's like surfing, and man, even at the time, what?
Another lady's like pole dancing.
Oh yeah, that was the funniest one. It's like, yeah, we know where she's getting some coin right now.
Yep.
But that's what's cool about this oasis, right? It's like the virtual world where you can like literally just do anything. And kind of like the metaverse, where the metaverse, you could buy like that virtual real estate or whatever. So in the book, like that's one of the things that they're saying, how it all started off with people, just playing and everything and different things. And then people started buying the virtual real estate, putting up different businesses and things like that. And it all spawned into this crazy, crazy world that he's about to jump into. What do you think of his little... What would we call that? Game zone? His little like hideaway? Like what would you say that is?
Yeah, it's like his little clubhouse almost, getaway kind of I guess a van cave.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a van cave.
Like how, first off, like how do you search that out? It's in a junkyard with like all of just cars upon piles of cars. And he finds this little hole that's tucked away that he just climbs through. And then there's just a whole ass van, there, at least that's like gutted enough to where he could turn it into a clubhouse.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. I don't know how you come upon that, or maybe it was like an idea that he had. He was like, oh, there's this shell here and we could put like clutter around it to hide it. I don't know how he came about that. And I don't know if they cover that in the book. Maybe it's just a coincidence.
I have not gotten that far yet. I mean, really, like, so some of the things that they talk about in the book that you don't see in the movie is, well, so his parents were teenagers and they were killed when they were teenagers. So I'm not sure what happened to him, to his parents or anything, but he's living with his aunt and they were covering him like going to school. So pretty much it was like they had the public schools, but the public schools were really shit. And so what's the main guy's name? Not Ogden, Morrow, James Halliday. Halliday is the creator of the Oasis. He was donating like $5 million a year to the Oasis school system. And it was pretty much like just an online school system where you logged into the Oasis in the VR. And
yeah, it's called what's it called? Lugos. I don't know what the name of the school is, but there's a nod to it. I think you see it actually when he first goes into the Oasis at the beginning of the movie, and he's kind of like getting to wherever he's going. I forget where he's going to in the first bit. I guess he's
going to the race.
Yeah. So before he gets there, you kind of see that there's a little sphere or whatever, and it has the name of that school, and apparently that's where they, that funded school where they all attended or whatever. Him and I guess where he met Aech and some of the other characters.
So it ended up being like thousands of schools is like what it ended up being, and that is how him and Aech met initially. And they didn't even go to the same school; they went to like different schools. I forget the number, but they say, I mean, it's like it's a four.
They kind of glance over real fast with those famous Hollywood montage sequences. Like I said, while he's going from Van Cave, we'll call it, to entering Oasis, you see a whole bunch of stuff, and it's basically they're things that probably were in the book that you just kind of can see.
Well, what's crazy is like I think it takes about 3 hours to explain the Oasis in the book. And like they show it here in like 3 minutes, like 2 minutes. That's the part where I feel like maybe a lot of people would say it does an injustice because
definitely.
It's almost like, I mean, you have to like really that 2 minutes does show like, I mean, I think we just, as people who know these virtual worlds or whatever, I think we just put 2 and 2 together in our heads that like this is a universe where, I mean, literally you can do anything. I mean, they're like skiing down the Alps and climbing Mount Everest and a casino that's as big as a planet and the motel where you could go do other things.
Oh yeah, you could do other things there. Yeah, he glances over that. That's that whole part where we're talking about. Yeah, he's basically just kind of like just broad strokes that whole. All that stuff that I'm sure that the book talks about, but yeah, it's funny.
And takes like 3 hours to. It just goes into like such insane detail, and like I wish I could see more detail of what's going on in all these worlds. I mean, it would be super cool, like super cool. And then they talk about pretty much the next thing, like right after they're showing off everything. He's like, "Hey, and this is my avatar," at least until I want to change it, and then they talk about the whole what's it called? The whole contest. Finding these Easter eggs that James Halliday left. And so the way that
I like to think of this as the Willy Wonka concept of the movie, basically, where it's like, it's a whole find the golden ticket type of deal, and you'll get invited to essentially, take over the company.
Crazy
idea.
It's literally what Ernest Cline said. He was like, I was thinking, like, what if Willy Wonka made video games? And what if his golden ticket was like an Easter egg in a video game? So like that's literally how the entire movie kind of like, at least the main plot of the movie formed.
Yeah, I like to I think of it and it's like, okay, it's Willy Wonka in the Matrix. And then it takes parts of like, I don't know if you've seen that movie Gamer. With what's it got? Who comes out of it? Is it Gerard Butler? No. I don't know. Anyways, but that one's pretty cool because he goes into the game and it's kind of the same thing. Like people make money doing different things or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like killing people. Anyways, so it's all of that mixed in with like a little bit of Avatar.
Yeah.
So
and like the way
all of that all in one. Great movie.
Yeah. And the way that Steven Spielberg was kind of like explaining this, he was like, it was almost like a new age, like Wild Wild West, because like you could be whoever you want to be. There really wasn't a lot of like
don't compare this to that Wild Wild the movie Wild Wild West.
No.
Okay, good.
No, he's not. No, like literally just like the Wild West.
Oh, like the Wild, yeah, for sure. That's like the whole metaverse and Bitcoin and all that stuff. That rage just kind of went through. That was the Wild Wild West times of NFT and whatnot.
Yeah. So that's what he's
going through that. Yeah.
He said this is a new age, like Wild Wild West like time, because like, you can recreate yourself. You could literally do whatever you want to do. And he said a lot less rules on like what you have to do and like things like that. And that was the way that he kind of explained it. And
I'm over here, Wild Wild West.
Yeah, the Wild Wild West. Wow. Oh man. Whoops. And so this whole this whole contest, it is literally like Willy Wonka. So James Halliday, he's the creator of the Oasis. He dies, passes away, and he creates a game within the game, all the Easter eggs, 3 keys that you must find. And whoever finds the 3 keys is given the entire Oasis, all the coin and everything, in these accounts. And he was like, it's $500 million. $500 billion. And everyone's like, whoa, shitting themselves. And see, they show it. I don't know if you caught that part when everyone's kind of watching this. The first kind of people who are watching him on the screen, they're all in school. And that's like he pretty much, like, at least from what I remember and picked up, like he pretty much dropped out of school to be like a full-time, gamer and get the coin, because it's all the money in there. That's pretty much how you live your life, anyways. Like that's like that money and real world money is one and the same for the most part.
Yeah, Z or Waithe or whatever's not in school at the time when the movie opens up. He's definitely not living a luxurious, successful life.
No.
So
he's hurting.
We can gather that he's either dropped out of school or something to that effect.
Yeah, because like when he gets into the Oasis finally, then he starts talking about Aech. And it's funny, Tino said, Aech's basement, bro, fire. Hell yeah, all the tools and the gadgets. I mean, that's got to be a good trade in the Oasis, you being able to fix cars and like, just literally build shit, for people that people don't have the skills to do.
Yeah, when this whole metaverse stuff broke out in our real world life, I was messing around with a lot of 3D graphics and stuff, and I was like looking into the metaverse, and I was like, I could build furniture in the metaverse and sell it.
I mean, right?
And my wife was like, you could build real furniture and sell it in real life.
Yeah, but I have to swing the hammer like this. I'm just opening the house. I'm like, way easier. And like, so that's what they're saying, like in there, like in the book, like they don't talk about any of this in the movie, but in the book, they're explaining everything, how like he wanted to make it a free game. Like the only thing you had to pay was 25 cents. And that was a one-time like activation fee. And it was like, that's your ticket into the Oasis to create your account. But inside the game, that's way different. And it was like, yeah, then they start designing every single car in existence and every single movie car in existence and literally everything. And they were like, since it's like not like something physical, it just like takes up ones and zeros, in the server, it's basically free for them. And they said they created this whole service. It's funny how it's like almost like Bitcoin kind of, but like not really. But like everyone who's tapped into the Oasis, your computer is powering the server like as well. And like it's this new technology. So like everyone who's tapped in, because like before they said any game that went over like 1,000 people, you need multiple servers, or it would, it would suck. Your players would go slow. And this was the first one that was just like crystal clear the whole way through. And it's because somehow everybody's computer who is logged in, and there's millions and millions and millions of users around the world, each of their computers is powering the Oasis as well.
Yeah, by some technological miracle of, the not too distant future, 2045. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for huge corporations to power things for free off of our energy. Whatever.
Fuckers.
Whatever works. As long as my Netflix doesn't buffer or whatever, I'm cool with it, I guess.
And then so we get introduced to Aech, and it's in the book. I mean, it's way longer than this like little 2-minute intro that you get, but it's pretty cool how it shows Aech in the death zone. I can't remember what they call it, but pretty much the big war zone where everyone's killing each other.
Yeah. I forget the name of the planet. But it's definitely something war zone, or to that effect. You can call it war zone for now. So somebody in the chat knows the actual name.
Yeah,
throw it in there.
Pretty much getting in the war zone, getting your kills on, getting the coins, from the people that you're sniping and everything. It's like GTA on steroids. It's like a COD GTA mashup with like anybody and anything you can think of. Fortnite kind of throw it all into one and throw on a skin and go at it, go ham. And I mean, one of the first references that we get in there, it's funny, like right as Aech is answering the call from Parzival. Just get my kills on, bro. And then Freddy Krueger like jumps up, bow, gets Freddy.
And everybody goes Sonic mode, right? When they disintegrate, kind of Endgame style, but there's coin falling everywhere, and it makes that nice. It reminds me of just Sonic. It's not like so cartoony, but it has a nice little cleaning sound.
Yeah, super cool the way that it all looked. And yeah, so all we really gather right there is just Aech is the shit. Is pretty much like the only thing that we gather right there. And then they end up so we get introduced to Aech, and then talking about Planet Doom, and that's what it's called. And then Parzival is like, oh yeah, I can't make the later race. Can you make this race? Yeah, we'll be over there. And it's funny, Aech, like when he actually gets over there, Parzival, that is Z or Waithe or whatever we refer to him as throughout the movie. He gets over there and he's like, hey, Aech, how'd you beat me over here? He's like, well, I didn't need to go by the hair salon on the way over here.
And a big old grotesque looking avatar that he's using with no hair, or she's using.
Yeah. And no midsection either. It's like a whole midsection that could kind of just like
mechanical,
spring up and
biomech kind of. Yeah. Krang from Ninja Turtles type of thing, maybe, but without a brain in the middle.
Yeah. Tino said the Oasis would be so addicting. Yeah.
I never get out of there.
Tino would be at the casino planet like all day. Tino for sure would be at the casino planet all day. And so the three keys, that's where we are right now after we get introduced to Aech is the three keys. And one of the parts that I like in there when Halliday was about to give his little what's this called?
It's been 5 years, right, since Halliday passes, and then nobody's found any keys yet. So it's been this whole period of time where we're gathering, where he's explaining the Oasis, we're getting introduced to him and Aech, and all this is happening. And then he happens to mention it's been 5 years and nobody's found Jack.
And the when he's giving his little Steve Jobs like speech, that's what I was gonna say. And he was like, all right, we're finally gonna unveil the Oasis. Take a look under your seats, and it makes everyone look. There's nothing under there.
Got him.
Oh man, and
that's pretty funny because it's like real dry humor. The actor who's playing the Halliday character or whatever, and he's just kind of like doesn't even react to his own joke. It makes it a little funnier for me. It's just like he's serious and he just continues on, kind of like a weird, quirky savant in his own. Somebody who's just special, kind of like I don't know.
Seems like a Steve Jobs, and I was like, I wonder, is this just like Steve Jobs of this this multiverse?
This multiverse, their version of it, maybe.
But then in what's his name in Wade's little bunker or whatever, you see on the wall, and it's like James Halliday better than Jobs or like something like
they
that.
Make reference to Steve Jobs for sure. So this would I guess be taking place way after Steve Jobs, obviously, but
pretty much. I mean, this is like I forget what year this is taking place, 2040 when I think they release it, because it's 5 years after he dies.
Yeah,
right.
I'm just trying to remember, because the bad guy is still alive and he was like an intern, so it's not too far removed. Like it's not way back. So it's definitely after that, after Steve Jobs era, after our era, I guess we'd be older men at the time of this movie.
Yep, and so they don't say who figures out what the what the actual Easter egg is, like where the first key's at, but they say that they put a portal there once they find out that it's in this race. But man,
somebody finds a clue and then a portal appears later, but they didn't really talk about that in the movie.
Could you imagine? Yes, and I mean that's kind of where the movie lacks, right? It leaves out these big chunks of like things where you're just wondering like who found this out, how'd they find this out? Because he did give some tiny little clue in there, and he kind of even gave a little bit of the third clue as well, like in his little speech. And but you see Parzival now, he's kind of talking, explaining, after the Easter eggs and everything, jumps through the portal, gets to the race, and it's like it kind of looks like a New York skyline. You can't even really tell like what it is as you as the race goes, then you can tell this is like literally taking place in like Central Park, like right around New York. It's like the scenes we see in Batman and shit like that, you know, at least the same locations.
Gotham Street Racing, Need for Speed, you know, kind of vibes going on. They're definitely getting ready for one of those type of, you know, one of those awesome type races where you're just, you know, hitting your shifting and going, and it's going to be all kinds of havoc. But there's, you know, at the same time, there's all types of pop culture, you know, whodats coming after you and trying to wreck you and you know, knock you out of the game and make a game over. So it's super fun, super great right off the bat, exciting action, great scene, great scene.
And they're explaining IOI, and these Sixers is what they call them. No names, but they all have 6-digit numbers that represent who they are. And pretty much, I mean, a loyalty camp is like what they call it, right? And just so ridiculous. They got all these employees who are working for them, and they're all trying to find.
I guess that's cool to a certain extent. Like, if, you know, the future looked bleak, I'd be like, I'm going to get paid to go, you know, play video games. But the way that they're being treated, or like we kind of get a closer or a glimpse behind, you know, closed doors later at the way the companies run, they're kind of like drill sergeant military style, the way they have them playing video games. So it's kind of doesn't look like it all it's cracked out to be, or you know, sound anyway.
But those are like the employees, right? It's like you got to figure out how to make your own coin. You can clan up with people. That is one of the ways. No, but we're on the show right now, please.
Clan up
with other people.
Yeah, you clan up or go solo. It's funny how they refer to it like that. But yeah, you have these major corporations that are trying to, I guess, like monopolize or create like a small little army and go to war. I think the main antagonist kind of refers to it as that, and he's trying to, you know, surmount this army so that he can take over and find the keys. You know, I guess strength in numbers type of idea. So. And they have these other folks that are more like rebels, I guess.
The amount of money that, like, I mean, it's $500 billion. So I'm assuming all the people working there are getting paid peanuts. That's just what we can assume from like the way the whole operation is like going down. But it's like they have all the all these investors and things like that are, you know, pouring into this. So it's not even like it's the main dude who's like putting this all out of pocket. He's like, he got all these people together, throw all this money at something, and it's all this money to try to win the Easter eggs, because once they get the Easter eggs, now they get full access to the Oasis, and he's the guy who's always wanted to charge people just to use the Oasis in general, let alone like all the ads and everything that he wants to like have pop up on people's screens and, you know, all this type of shit.
You see that throughout the film, within, you know, little sections where, you know, there's a flashback and he wants to charge, you know, memberships to, you know, use the Oasis, and then I think there's a other part where he's speaking to like his other, you know, employees about, you know, running all these ads, you know, with Oasis 2.0 or whatever it is. So.
And Joe said everyone's so poor, working for IOI is unavoidable. Yeah, see, that's why you got to figure out how to be a hustler somewhere in the Oasis, because a lot of people are making money. You just have to like literally have your hustle, whatever it is. I mean, Aech's hustle is like rebuilding all the cars and the whole, you know, shop that I mean, I guess he is a he, right? We'll get to the spoiler alert later.
Yeah, and I guess C to a certain extent is like, I'm gonna, you know, play these races and try to find the key, but at the same time I have like ways to kind of skim by. He starts the race at the back of the race and lets the cars kind of crash out so he can pick up coin, so he can have fuel to keep going, you know, and figure stuff out. So
because literally even driving the car, you got to have cash to put the fuel in there. But what's cool is you don't got to go to a gas station, you know, like you literally can like fill up the tank like during the race.
And his car's so dope, you know, he's driving the DeLorean from Back to the Future. So,
yeah. And Tino said, I think where the movie misses how post-apocalyptic the world is, and like there's like barely any food or jobs, and the Oasis is really for the rich, and it makes more sense on why people would be Sixers. Yeah, for sure, right? Because there's like literally no jobs in like real life, I feel, because like, I mean, shit, even in the beginning of the movie, like the person, it wasn't even a person who was delivering Pizza Hut to the stacks. It was like a drone.
Yeah, a drone was delivering pizza. Yeah, for sure. And when he's going through the stacks, you see basically everybody's plugged into the Matrix or whatever you want to call it now. The Oasis. Yeah. But everybody's locked in with doing their thing. Like you said, all different types of stuff. So it appears that that's how they make money. Yeah, and his home life, his home situation with his foster parents or stepdad or whatever the hell they are. His dad's like high risk gambling, in these games or whatever, and stuff like that. So you run into some of that stuff too there, that home dynamic where everybody kind of needs to scramble on the Oasis and I guess that's they could have paid more attention, I guess, to what it's like, but you see the slum that he lives in, and I guess that's what they're trying to tell you. Like everything is like that. The Oasis is so much cooler, so rather be there.
Yeah, I feel like you have to put 2 and 2 together. I mean, it looks hella ghetto. Like where he's living, it's literally it's the stacks are stacked on top of each other, like everything around it does not look like it's like a nice neighborhood or like ritzy.
Everything looks dirty, looks like a shower's like once a week type of thing.
His fucking little getaway is like hidden in a junkyard, nothing is screaming that he has money or is in any kind of like, I don't know, not a super
good situation. Yeah, definitely post-apocalyptic. I mean, they are. It is look like a little glanced over, I guess, and things kind of look cool in the stacks, but it's not. It reminds me of the scene from Demolition Man when all the sewer people kind of come up and it's Taco Bell time or whatever. Like that's kind of what's going on here.
And like, here's what I assume. It's like we see the first person, they're like boxing. It's like, this little chubbier chick, in their boxing. I'm assuming she's in some kind of boxing match for, some kind of prize fight.
Like she's like some buff dude or character or whatever, like, high stakes or fight UFC style something, famous maybe even.
We go 2 stacks down, and then there's another chick, and she's like working the pole. Like, I mean, she's working. She's working the pole, getting up coin on. Like it's what you got to do.
There's a dude surfing, it's having leisure time, so.
Yeah. And so when they're in the race, and it's even funny how, I mean, you brought it up, how he has to even drive in the back, to kind of skim coin, from like the cars that die or whatever along the way, and he's grabbing their coin and fucking and Aech, like, so it's like, oh, you got to do that, what, like, oh, like see,
that's sad, man. I think that's what he says.
And but super dope as he goes back there. I mean, you really don't know what's gonna happen, like you don't know if his car is there or whatever, and you see him like just take this thing out of his pocket, throw it down, and then the DeLorean just appears.
Yeah, sweet.
Super that's fucking cool.
And it says Parzival in the back on the license plate.
Yeah,
pops in, ready to start the race, and you kind of get a glimpse of what it's kind of like to work this first challenge for a key, and just the intensity of all the Sixers that are clogging the starting line, and then all the other folks that are in there. And I guess he's still narrating at this point.
Yeah. And and I don't even think I mean, it's kind of getting to the part where the narrating's like about to stop. And but the music is just on point the entire time. And it's like then
what's the opening track? It's an 80s joint, right? I forgot what it was.
I cannot.
Like, it's not coming to me at the moment.
I think it's the one
I saw it earlier today.
Yeah, I know. Is it the one from Blow? Yeah, I can't remember which one it is, but they've got classic music throughout the whole thing. And
it's good stuff. It's not Twisted Sister, is it?
I cannot remember.
White Snake? It's one of those. Like, it's something in that genre. You know what I'm saying? Like 80s hair metal type of song going on in the background, from what I recall. But yeah, the race was it Jump? Might as well. No, it was I thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets to go and we're about to start the race. It's like they should have done "Kickstart My Heart" by Motley Crue or something. But anyways,
that would have been cool. And they looks over, sees some chick on a motorcycle there.
Exactly.
And like,
that's why.
they talk a lot about Artemis, like, you know, in the beginning, in that first like 3-4 hours where they're kind of like building up the Oasis and everything. And like, yeah, she's like a Twitch streamer and all this, and, you know, does walk alongs and, you know, just a lot of stuff in the Oasis. She's a superstar to like a guy like him. And he's like fully like schmitten, you know, with her. Like, yeah, he's all about it.
Yeah, has no idea what she looks like or anything, but he's followed her and he's like, that's her. I know her. I could tell by her. I don't know, whatever. I follow her on all these, you know, platforms. And so he's honing in, like telling Aech, like, check this out. Like, that's definitely her. So he's locked in on that, not really paying attention to the race right off the bat.
Yeah. And just crazy how like the whole bridge, you know, there's no like bridge where they're at, but then it just kind of like just kind of shifts over there, you know, does like a little roll or whatever to get into place. And then they're off. And then as you get to the end of the bridge, it's like the bridge raises like some Too Fast, Too Furious shit where it just like raises out of nowhere. Then even one of them, it's like, it's got the little curve, and that's the one that he goes on. So he could do a full like barrel roll, you know, like just over the.
Yeah, the freeway is like on hydraulics, so they're off and going, and everybody's weaving through traffic. The freeway starts moving, you know, and like you said, that kind of goes into like a 3-way split. You know, one has the nice Hot Wheels setup. See, he gets in cool action.
And you
of course
can
it's
tell
all CGI, so it's even cooler. Like, no problem with stuff being fantastical.
Like, you could tell that it's a video game, but it's like a badass like fucking video game. And the cool thing about it, I mean, they're doing all the acting like in this, like everything is it's filmed like a video game. You know, they got the suits with the bubbles on it, you know, and all that, and it's
like the Avatar effect, you know, the same kind of process, you know, the way they did most of that stuff. So
pretty cool. I said they filmed it in Harry Potter Studios. And that's the same place where they filmed Harry Potter. And like, you just see, it's like everything that they're doing is like the skeleton of everything. It's like he doesn't have the whole DeLorean, you know, when they're filming. It's like the shell of the DeLorean, you know, but he's in there like doing everything that he's doing in the movie. But, you know, it's like they got to imagine it until it's like on screen kind of. But they did say that like there's monitors all over the place, and like, just like when you're doing it for like the video games or whatever, like you can see what's happening on the monitor, you know, like the monitor shows the video game world and everything that you're recording, but you gotta just imagine it.
Yeah, it gives you at least something to do. And these actors get paid a lot of money. So
yeah, for sure. And one of the coolest parts to like start this whole race is like there's like a big rig or whatever that, like, I mean, first off, they're just like going through everything. There's subway cars, you know, just all over the place, a lot of obstacles to avoid. And then this whole like big rig truck like just comes out of the way, out of nowhere, cuts off pretty much everybody in the race. One of the Sixers gets their heads cut off and all the coin goes, hits a little button, changes it from Back to the Future 1 DeLorean to Back to the Future 2 DeLorean, glides underneath that shit, opens the door, gets all the coin, turns the coin into fuel. It's cool.
Yeah, the wheels turn sideways and he starts hovering and glides right under there, you know, and opens the door and he collects all the coin, like you said. And I just want to, before we go any further here, I just want to shout out my cousin, Austin Gord, who was an art director on this movie. I probably should have prefaced and let off with that, but you know, he's worked on this one, Rushmore, and a couple other movies back in the day, but this one was one of his more recent ones. And I gotta reach out to him, see if we could get in touch with him, maybe get him on the show.
That'd be super cool if we can get like any insight from him in the movie, because there's a lot of work that went into this movie, especially on the art side and the video game side and just all this shit. Yeah,
his sister just reached out to me on Facebook recently because I did an edit of a Houston Texans jersey from Tarleton State University, and she went to school there, and they're the Texans. And anyways, I swapped the colors because they were purple anyways, and I did it and she was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh yeah, like, hello, his sister. Maybe I can get his number through her. But cool. Anyways, yeah, he was an art director on this. He wasn't the main one, but I think he was like the assistant art director, or if not, like a visual art director, something to that effect. But if you check out the, the IMDb or whatever it is, his name is listed up there.
Tight. And one of the first big, I mean, other than the DeLorean, I mean, obviously that's the first like big reference, like in this race. I mean, shit, seeing the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, like wow,
Oh.
randomly in the middle in the middle of the street, you know,
King Kong
tears at H's car, yeah, and then King Kong, that's the one that nobody can get by, and he talks about it like after, like he's getting ready to pull up, you know, on the little bank or whatever on the freeway, and he sees King Kong. He's like looking for him. And the son of a bitch, he's like just tracking the whole way. And then he sees him just where he's at, that he's, you know, just gets right in front of him. So he doesn't do it. That doesn't
very
take
tense. Very tense moment of the movie. You know, you can feel it. The action's kind of building and peaking there. He's getting towards the end of the race. You know, he's on a lower level. You can see King Kong crashing through the buildings, destroying things, you know, knocking other racers out of the game. You know, coin flying everywhere. There is a cool little scene there where right before Aech gets blocked off, when that bridge area or whatever, the train tracks, the Batman 66 car is knocked out by his truck, and when it skids, the tire screeching goes to the cadence of the da-na-na-na-na, but it's tire screeching, so it's like, and it's the 1966 Batmobile, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of pop culture references, and it's just this first race, and if you're, you know, if you go back, rewatch it, if your eye's quick enough, you can probably catch them all, but I'm sure I missed a bunch of them.
Yeah, Marty said this movie sounds wild. Like all this is happening within like the first like 20 minutes of the movie. Like,
for sure.
It's awesome.
Haven't gotten anywhere yet.
Yeah, the first race is just, it's so epic. Like that's why we're trying to go into so much detail, because it is like, it's super super fucking epic. And he says he does a cheat to beat King Kong. Yeah, that's the only way that he can do it. This race is just like, it's impossible. Like even when he thinks he's about to beat King Kong, he sees King Kong like coming like in front where the whole bridge is like out. He would have to like, you know, hit the incline or whatever. But like he knows he's not going to do it. Slams on the brake, stops, and
almost falls out of the DeLorean.
Yeah, sees Artemis, and then he's like, bail.
Yeah, she sees an opening, you know, and she's like, I can take this little piece that's kind of torn up, like ramp it over and make it right. And he's like, no, you know, King Kong has sunken down below the crevice and he's hiding. You can't even see. So she doesn't probably even know that he's there at this point. So he's, like you said, he comes running out and yelling bail and snatches her off the motorcycle, and they go tumbling around, and she winds up straddling him, and they look as the bike goes over the little ramp and straight into Kong's outstretched gorilla hand, and he just crushes the bike, tosses it back at him.
Yeah, at least she got the bike back, because Aech fixed it for free. Didn't even have to pay for it.
Right, he didn't even charge her. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what Percival is. Oh, my buddy Aech can fix it for you. Don't worry about it. You know, it's
he's simping hard, simping big time,
offering up Aech's services without even asking. You know, and then, like they get to Aech's basement or whatever, and this is my basement. Touch nothing.
And first thing he does is check this out.
Touch everything. Why you gotta show my shit?
Trying to impress Artemis.
Yep. And it is funny when they get in a little like James Halliday trivia. What's James Halliday's favorite first-person shooter? GoldenEye.
And they go back and forth with each other.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy about this whole thing. So, like, even that part right there where they're doing the James Halliday little trivia right there. I mean, that's like such a huge part of like the beginning of the audiobook, because like he's talking about like all the specific references. Like that's what they're pretty much talking about.
Yeah, hey. Probably like Atari and Dig Dug and, you know, everything and anything. So
what up, 420 King Bongs? We actually got 8 streams going on right now. We're on 3 different YouTube channels. We're on Twitch, and we're on 4 different YouTube channels. We're on Twitch, and we're on 3 different Facebook pages and groups right now. It's funny. Tino's like, for real, homie, bringing back some random chick to your dope ass basement. And hey, 420 King Bong said, I'm hitting the like on everyone. We appreciate you. We appreciate you.
What is
trying
up,
to get a
my
bunch of these
friend?
monetized. Hell yeah.
Cool.
And
Appreciate that.
But yeah, that was a huge part of like the beginning of the audiobook where they're literally just talking about how like 12 hours out of the day he would be studying like all of Halliday's shit, you know, just going back and watching all the movies that he was into, watching all the TV shows that he was into, all the music that he was into, and literally everything. And that was the one that he was you know, like that he knew that the only way to like win this was to like get inside the head of Halliday and learn like everything about everything that he liked.
Right. Yeah. He goes in the Oasis. There is a I guess like a a library of some sorts. I forget what it's called. It's like some sort of mecca of information where you kind of just go and study. And I guess that's where he spends most of his time while he is in the Oasis. So probably heads over to his van and chills out with his crappy, equipment to log into the Oasis and does his thing and studies Halliday, trying to get any insider edge on getting this key in the race, trying to figure out some sort of competitive advantage or figure out why it's taken 5 years first. And it's still been, nobody's gotten even close to getting past Kong and getting to the finish line.
Yeah. And they're talking just more and more. And he was like, yeah, King Kong, like it's a rule. You can't beat King Kong. And she was like, well, Halliday hated rules. And he knows that Halliday hated rules. And it's just bugging him. It's bugging him and bugging him and bugging him. And then he's got to go back. And Tina said in the book, every kid knew Halliday stuff. It was popular as basically be a Gunther or a Sixer. And a Gunther, that's the people, the egg hunters.
Right.
What they are.
Or, gamer hunters or egg hunters, like Gunthers. Yeah, makes sense. It's funny because my dog's name is Gunner. And I call him Gunther just because.
It's funny in I can't do you remember
the difference because he's a dog.
It's called the paper. It was called the Paper Brigade. I think.
Yeah, I remember that. That sounds very familiar. They have like a bike route.
Yeah, and it was with the dude who was in the movie where they kidnapped their parents, like Jamie Lee Curtis, and
everybody has 90s hair. They had that like hair.
Yeah,
Jennifer Love Hewitt, yeah, for sure.
The kid's name in there was Gunther, and like the local bullies, they were just talking shit like Gunther. What kind of name is that? It's like, man, it's like, oh, I think I just stepped in some Gunther.
Damn, they did him dirty. Yeah, I remember that now. That's hilarious. Wow, he took me back. Paper Brigade.
That's a random.
Write that one down. I'm gonna rewatch that one with my kids. Paper Brigade. I think I can watch that with my son.
Yeah, because I don't think it's 96. Take us back to the 90s with that one.
Yeah,
so
that's
funny.
what's up. I completely forgot about that. That's cool. Paper Brigade. I think I rented that on VHS. Not gonna lie, that's when I first saw it. Used to rent a lot of VHS.
I forgot about the Paper Brigade. Yeah, that's like a random one, right? Like, that's
totally forgot about it.
Random one.
Wow, and came out of left field.
Yeah,
said I was this bitch.
And you kind of get a peek. I mean, he does have, you hear him later, like people love the Oasis to try to escape the shitty hand that they were dealt. And this is like the only peek you get into like, the kind of shitty home life, that he has. Like he just gets his aunt yelling at him, "Where's my gloves? You took my gloves." And then he goes home and it's like her husband, not even her husband, I think he's just her boyfriend or whatever.
Right.
It's like all in his face. And
he
was like, you made me lose all the house money on this. I bought all the upgrades for this
like
one
the little
game.
brother he's like the little brother that you beat in Madden or some shit. Like, I don't know. He's like, you made me lose. You gave me the shitty controller. Or I don't know what. It's like not even your fault that they suck.
Pretty much. Yeah, you took her gloves. I'm supposed to use the good gloves.
What does it tell him? He's like, you shouldn't have played, or I don't know what the hell.
He was like, you weren't going to win nothing. He was like, I had friends in there, you noob. And he like punches them. And he's like, call the cops. He's like, I'm not calling the cops. You're getting the hell out of here.
I should kick both of you out.
Yeah, because he spent all their house money on all those upgrades.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so it was really he's just all in his head thinking about this, and he goes, let's see what this, because I got the movie playing in the background. No, it's the Halliday Journals. That's what it is. And he goes in there to talk to the old curator, and goes to a specific spot that
that curator is cool.
No rules.
Have you ever seen Altered Carbon on Netflix?
I don't think so.
So anyways, it's they have skins, and like there's discs, and their whole lives and memories are like saved on these things, and you're literally like, you can buy people's bodies and like keep like a fresh new, you could be immortal basically, right? All your shit just stays saved on these stacks. Anyhow, there's a curator in that virtual world that they're in, or whatever the hell, and it's like it's the same concept. It's like a dude that's there with like information, but he's a bartender. He gives you a place to stay. So that curator reminded me of, mimic that same concept, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
It's like a virtual butler.
Yeah. So he takes him to the exact scene, and it's cool. So I said when they were filming all of these, this is why Steven Spielberg said it was like filming 4 movies in one, because like when they film like scenes like he's watching, it's like they had cameras everywhere, so they could like shift everything around, just like on cue and make it look like hella, just futuristic, the way that they can go back and like watch these movie files. And so he's listening to the whole file, and he remembers like everything like word for word, and he must just walk away at the same time, like every single time. But this time he like, I don't know, he just like waits a little longer, and he hears him say like, I wish we could just go backwards, like really put the pedal to the fast. Rewind 10 seconds.
Well, it's because, like you said, I think Artemis tells him about she mentions like he was a rule breaker, and she kind of like, that was the last thing that she said. So like he was hanging on every word of hers because he's smitten, like you said. So this time when he goes back over there, gets after his encounter with her at that first race, it's fresh in his mind. They start talking about the rules, Halliday and Morrow, I guess, or whoever it was at that point.
Ogden Morrow,
right, and they have like this that argument, and then he turns away, and that's when he's walking away, but he hears him say that. So I think that when his ears are a little more tuned to the conversation this time after Artemis.
And I don't even know if you saw, it took Halliday saying it twice for him to realize it. He says it the first time. He's like, wish we could go backwards, and he just kept walking, didn't even hear it. Like, I wish we could go backwards. And and then that's when
he goes back, and he's like, hey, play that, go backwards 10 seconds. And he hears it, and then they show Halliday, he even like turns, and he has like a smirk on his face when he's saying it. And he's like, that's it. He has this idea. He's like, I got it.
And he takes the helmet off, and he's like shitting himself. He was like, no fucking way did I just figure this out. Like right now, 5 years. Like I couldn't even imagine. Could you imagine playing a game for 5 years? And I know there's a lot of stuff in this, but it's like the main storyline. You cannot get past the very first part of it.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yes and no. I have several games that I've played. Like I have an emulator, right, with like all the old games right behind me here. And there's like right behind my camera, I have the joysticks with the buttons. It's like a dual setup. But anyway, I do have a Batman Origins. I don't know if you ever played any of the Batman games, but I have the Batman Arkham Origins game. And I remember when I first got it, my son was it was like 2013. It had just come out. My son had just been bored. And I started playing it, and I would take care of him. And I got like 5% of the way in. And I was like in the first 2 years of his life, bro. And that's how much my data was on it. I would play, like 2-3 times a week, like, so for like an hour, and when I got some time, and I got to like 18% of that game or whatever. And then I forgot about it for like 6 years. And then I came back to it recently. And then I had to do like a virtual walkthrough, like online with one of these people, like Artemis probably, to tell me what to do. And then I got through like 25%. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going through it now. But it's like 10 years ago when I bought this video game. So yes, I can imagine playing a video game for a long time and not getting anywhere.
And I was like, fuck, bro, and everyone can't beat it. He's like, I'm not even playing it. Yeah, I mean, I think because he even said the only people who are trying to beat the race anymore are just the egg hunters and the Sixers. Everybody else isn't even really fucking with it like that.
It's still a shitload of people because the Sixers are like a whole clan. Like
yeah, whole fucking gang and shit. And but it's because you still gotta have coin, for your car or whatever, So I mean, all that takes coin. But yeah, after he figures it out, of course, he goes right back to the race. And he sees what's her name there, Artemis. And she was like, "Oh yeah, try not to lose your shit or zero out or whatever the hell, because she's making fun of him for being a bonus hole." And and she was like, "You figured something out, didn't you?" She's like, "Tell me."
You figured something out. You tell me.
Yeah, and she's just watching him in the rear view mirror, and like that's it. And then he just hits it, and then it's So one of the things that he said.
Well, he stays there for a bit. Everybody takes off, and she's looking at him through the rear view of her bike, and like she picks her visor up, and like she's like, and then he hits reverse. Like he opens his door and he hits reverse and he slams reverse. So she's watching him, but then I don't know if he goes out of sight or she sees the whole thing. But
one thing that was cool for him, the actor in the movie. So he said the dude, Ernest Cline, the main creator. So he's such a 80s buff that he even bought the DeLorean. Like after he got the deal and everything for like Ready Player One, like that was one of his big purchases that he did. He went and bought the DeLorean. It's like the full DeLorean setup and everything. And
I saw the Back to the Future one that was at Universal Studios when I was like 13. Nice. And I was like, dope. That's the one that they used on set or whatever. It was just parked there with some other like prop cars, but then it obviously stood out as the DeLorean. Took a picture of it somewhere.
And so it was him and his wife were the only people that drove that, but he let Wade, the actor who played Wade, he let him drive that. And
is that Miles Teller? Yes, right.
No, it's not Miles Teller.
What's the name of this actor?
Ty Sheridan. Okay. I guess we didn't shout out any of the actors. We'll do it along the way. Ty Sheridan, there.
Good job, sir.
And so he said because of driving that, he realized that. He couldn't look over his shoulder like it was a normal car, because like the whole flux capacitor and everything's like in the way. So he was like, that's what made him do that. Open the door and got to look out this way.
Yeah, makes sense.
And how wild is that because like the whole time it's just like he's looking back. He's probably shitting bricks like it's a big wall. It's a really big wall that I'm heading towards like full speed right now. I know
right here.
And then it just opens up. And it's like he's like just totally mesmerized, and he's like he's in a cheat code.
See, if I was that, I would have probably told Aech like, "Look, man, I'm gonna try something crazy. If I zero out, grab all my coin for me. Just as a safety." But that's
but see, that was it though. They weren't a clan. He didn't want to get clanned up. He's got to do it all himself.
Yeah, that's also true, I suppose.
Well, which they ended up.
They kind of clanned up a little bit.
Well, when push comes to shove, they definitely all clanned up, and they realized that was the thing to do, anyways. But they were all kind of living their solo, their solo dreams.
That's true. They were all kind of. You see it a lot at the what is it, the Doom, Planet Doom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
War Zone. We're gonna call it the War Zone. It's just easy for me to. It's like literal chaos. That's pretty dope. I think I'd be in there a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And it was just super cool seeing him win with the cheat code. And it's funny. So, because you can't beat the race from the up top. You have to go through the cheat code and you have to go backwards the entire way as well. So not only, you don't have to face any of the crazy obstacles, but you do got to make it backwards through the twists and turns,
it's the old fall off the rainbow road and, you lap somebody or whatever it is. Yeah. That's what basically it is.
Yeah.
Or there's one in Mario 64 where you could jump over like he hit the bumper thing and you could jump over the wall and he basically skipped like half the lap.
Yeah, I think it's yeah, so ridiculous.
Yeah, and Mario cheats. Mario Kart cheats.
Oh yeah. And so he makes it all the way, and it's got like the trumpets and everything that's there. And then he gets the next clue and everything. And then you see him end up on the big board. And then that's when you kind of get introduced to like IOI, like after that. And we're going to save that for Act 2. I think this is a good place to get a break in the action for Act 1. And if you guys don't follow the podcast, Silver Screen Breakdowns, on Apple Pod and on Spotify, make sure you go do that. And if you don't follow Silver Screen Breakdowns on YouTube, what are you doing? Go do that as well. For everyone who's watching here live, just hang out because we're going to be doing Act 2 and 3 as well. And Peacock, why don't you let them know where to find you at and everything you got going on?
Yeah, I am the Neon Peacock. You can find me at such places like the Real Fantasy Playmakers and occasional FNT. And my stuff is down there, neonpeacockmerch.com. I have a $13 t-shirt sale going on right now where you can find cool merch like this homage to Pulp Fiction featuring Bogard, Scott Free, and our man Hustler right here. $4.20 all day, right? FNT 100%, motherfucking pulp. So that's just one of many shirts that you can find on there. We have Bogard in the Matrix, and then if you're into fantasy football, like I know a lot of the subscribers are, there's a plethora of cool stuff there, like our man Deshaun Watson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Kirk Cousins, yeah, you name it. So go check it out, neonpeacockmerch.com. The sale's ending soon, so be inclined to do it today.
There we go. And make sure that you go check out all the other acts if you're listening to this on replay. They're dropping Monday, Wednesday, Friday on the Silver Screen Breakdowns podcast. And you can still show some love on the Hustler podcast. Go subscribe there. And we do have all the uploads happening there. They usually happen over the weekend. All right, here we go. We're getting into act number 2. We'll see you guys over there. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
And we're coming in hot.
3.
What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you.
What's up, player 11? I mean, my bad. I was like, oh shit, I'm on. Or rolling some. I saw the countdown. I was like, oh shit. I thought you was about to do my bad. Am I that egotistical? I thought I was gonna get this elaborate, like fucking intro, right? I was like, oh shit, oh, I'm on.
You just came on at the perfect time, right into Act 2. Well, right. Now you did get a big elaborate intro.
I mean, I did, right? Countdown and everything. Yeah. I got the fucking countdown and everything.
And I'm the Neon Peacock. Thanks for joining us again.
Right. Yeah. It's so cool. Thank you, Peacock, for immortalizing me on t-shirts and stuff too. That's fucking awesome. Immortalizing us, I should say.
Always in for
okay. Last time on Silver Screen Breakdowns,
our man Waithe, aka Parzival, aka Z, figures out the last clue and figures out how to crack the code to get the very first key. This is 5 years in the making for any player to get a key. And just like that, he gets 100,000 coin put in to his account. And he's off to the races. Because what do you do when you don't got money in the Oasis and you get a whole bunch? You gotta go spend it. Spend it, baby. It's like, I gotta get a bunch of these grenades. Man, they show off the catalyst. They have to show it because, I mean, that's like, just a foreshadow into the future. And 2 million coin for this catalyst. And it's a weapon that literally kills everybody in the Oasis, including the person that uses it. And
I wrote a bar. I said, I'm a catalyst. I said, I'm a catalyst. Doing numbers. Analyst. See what I did there? My bad, it wasn't that creative. I guess you got to hear like the other bars prior.
So, Bogey, what do you think about what do you think about the first race? I mean, that was the biggest part of Act 1 that you missed out. It was
fucking awesome. And then, like, I swear to God, if you watch it, bro, you'll see me in that motherfucker, bro.
What part were you in?
I'm in the background going fast, bro. Just going by, bro.
I thought I saw Spider-Man at one point, but I don't know. Maybe I was just tripping.
Listen, that was my cousin. We all get, listen, we're extras. You know what I mean? My bad, I'm doing extra. Continue.
So he's in there buying all his weapons. He has to get the hand grenades. He has to get the Zemeckis cubes. He has to get the crazy body armor suit, you know, the top of the line joint. He buys it in the Oasis, and then it gets delivered right to his spot. And the full, you know, the full head
The
to
whole
toe,
shebang, bro.
everything. This is the one. The X1, it's the one.
And that's from the Gundam, right? No,
I'm
that's
not
not
sure.
from Gundam. Where's that from?
I'm not
X1?
sure if that's an ode to anything.
Yeah, is that Gundam?
Oh, maybe.
What game is that from?
It could be.
It's a reference there.
Okay. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, I was hoping because you know what's crazy is like if I don't know it, Peacock or Clock will know that shit. I was like,
Usually do. That's why
I know, but because I know they reference Gundam in there like a motherfucker. They show the whole Gundam, the whole get down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
have
about?
some Google on hand for reference.
Okay, continue.
And yeah, it's funny as he clicks it and goes in and gets it, just flashes real world pickup. And you know that's one of those things that gets just like droned right into his spot, whatever his location is. And now he's like set because before he's living hella ghetto, you know, like he doesn't even have enough to like, you know, barely put the fuel in the car. Now he's got the full setup. It's just taking it to like the next wave. And now he gets on the IOI's radar. And this is where it kind of all starts going south for Parzival. And like,
hey, Parzival, that's like a Camelot reference, correct?
I believe so. Yeah, like
Excalibur.
Yeah,
It's
and
the-
some,
Knights of the Round Table, or no Camelot, whatever the
it's
fuck.
like a solo night or a
Yeah,
night.
because we got the thing on his vest.
Somebody who
too,
found the Holy
Lord.
Grail or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
man,
word.
Yeah,
this
I think
fucking
so.
the dude from the IOI. I hate this guy. The what's his name? Sorrento or what? Nolan Sorrento, whatever the hell his name is. We get a look into him, and he goes into the Oasis. He's got this huge ass rig, you know, that's just like, I mean, it's just insane. And one of my favorite characters in the movie, he really steals the show, is T.J. Miller, the guy playing Aech, who's pretty much like the hitman in Oasis.
Hilarious.
And it's funny when you see him. I mean, he just looks like this big savage, and he's like, "How are you doing today?" I got this thing. It's really like messing with my neck right now.
He just stand over here to my left.
It's like carpal tunnel for the neck, if that's a thing.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
He's
Those.
like from Deadpool, the bartender or whatever, who actually is like, "Oh, we have a pool up for when you're actually going to die," or whatever. That guy. Same
Yeah.
actor.
Was
He's
that
in
the
the
same? It is the same actor.
He's in the Office Party, one of my new favorite Christmas movies. He's the it's hilarious in there because he's making a fantasy football trade in the Office Party movie.
Hey, they reference that like the first 5 minutes into the movie too.
Yeah. He's like negotiating, and it's funny because he's like just talking mad shit, and he hangs up, and he's like, "Man, I'm running a train on this league right now." Jason Bateman, I don't think that means what you think it means.
I like Jason Bateman though.
He's a
That is
savage.
funny.
And so pretty much what we get out of this whole Sorrento Aech, you know, thing is, I mean, he's talking about taking out Parzival. He gets this crazy orb that's like, it's like a 1 of 1, like level 99.
Level 99.
Just
I love
something
how-
you don't find.
I love how he asks him when he needs to activate it. It's fucking hilarious.
It's
He's like, "Is there like
It's supposed to
a
be-
button?" Or
Yeah, it's like, this isn't one of your drones, pal. Okay, it's level
It's
99
like-
weapon.
Yeah.
Like you need a whole
You need a magical enchantment or something.
I need a fucking another whole potion bullshit, man.
you fucking noob.
He's like, you care to do it? You care to proceed? It's like, no, all right.
Right. You don't want to get obliterated, bro.
No. Doesn't want to do that shit wrong.
That shit's funny.
And man, the funny part is when they're actually negotiating for Parzival, and he was like,
I didn't get that.
you know, he's like this. I don't know. If I
Buy the whole avatar. Like, what was that?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I could do this. And he was like, all right, come on. What's it going to cost me? It's like, you know, I like you, Sorrento. You don't even lick. You just bite right into the gooey center. Go bite right into the chocolate center.
The chocolate
He's like,
center.
Yeah, he's like, remember that commercial, the owl?
He's like the chocolatey center of the Tootsie Pop. He's like you don't lick. You just bite right down to the center of the chocolatey center of the Tootsie Pop.
A one?
Remember that commercial?
The three. The three.
It's funny how he referenced it and he had to like make sure. Oh, you remember that one? Like that was good. That was a good callback. That was a good callback.
That one was crazy, bro.
And he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do this for probably like 3 times my fee." And he's like, "Done." He's like, "Oh, is that easy?" He was like, is 4 still on the table?" He thought he was playing hardball.
He's like, "You agreed to that pretty easily."
Yeah, he thought he was playing hardball with 3 times, and no,
this is going to be 3 times my fee. Done. He's like, "Oh shit, should ask for more."
Such a savage. But yeah, just like that. I mean, now the hit is out.
That dude's avatar, the bad guy. It's fucking stupid. He's just like a souped up. Like it reminds me of the bad guy, the agent from Matrix, but like on roids.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's he's not even in disguise. It's just like me, but bigger.
Yeah, without the glasses. And man,
not creative at all. Dude's not creative. Didn't even change his gamer tag name or whatever. It's like the same, I think.
Nope.
His name.
And Percival, he needs to go back to the Halliday records, to see what's going on in there. And here's where we just get a whole bunch of crazy, like pop culture references, like hella quick. Because as soon as he comes in, it's freaking Beetlejuice, who's like, "Hey, it's Percival." Fucking Beetlejuice. And it's hilarious.
He wants to take pictures with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a superstar now. And I mean, he literally went from zero to hero, just like that. I mean, it's crazy. People with the cameras, those little balls that you just throw up, the little ball that could just control itself almost.
Pause.
And then
hold on. Why do you need to pause that? Wait a second. What about the controllable balls?
The balls that are just up in the air taking pictures.
Oh yeah. Pause.
Yeah.
What are these missing balls taking pictures?
Now I don't even.
It's like the reverse D pick. The balls are taking the pics this time.
All right, Bogey, do you remember what was the Mortal Kombat character that Artemis is in? Who is it?
Okay, my bad. Go ahead. I was just
no, the one with the forearms goes up.
Yeah, Goro.
Goro, there you go. Yeah. Percival, you're famous now. You can't be here. It takes him into the middle, and then what was that? It was a callback to Aliens, right?
It's the chest buster, whatever they're called.
And he freaks out.
He grabs it like and then it eats the avatar, and then she's underneath it, right? And then she like goes, and he's like, "Damn it!" Like he gets scared the shit out of him.
Yeah. And
then big old Goro comes and like saves him from the mob of everybody taking pictures of him because he's famous or whatever.
Yeah.
Starts breaking it down.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool. She's got the disguise. Look, Clark Kent glasses. Just disguises out, changes your look or anything. And nice and easy. Then you can just walk through the crowd without undetected. And they need to
do that move. I would comb my hair and put on some glasses, and people wouldn't like put a suit on. Like, what the hell? Not the same person. People can do that. It works. Clark Kent, like nobody's seen you for a while. Yeah. Shave and put some glasses on, comb your hair. Boom.
California Brave was all over it. Goro, there you go.
Yeah. Goro's a shit. I remember my dad taking me we had a super when I was a kid, and we went to the mall and we bought Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter or whatever, and he would play with me. I remember him kicking my ass as Goro.
You gotta have Johnny Cage. You gotta do the splits and the
Johnny Cage. So MK1 is coming out. I don't know if it's already come out or whatever, but I'm definitely getting it because you can get it on the Switch, right, or whatever, and it has all the Jean-Claude Van Damme he's finally there with the cutscenes and stuff. I don't know if you guys knew that, but super.
Wait a second. That is really him, isn't it?
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be really him in this one than the new one that's coming out. Because obviously that's who the character was based on. They just never had he didn't want to do it.
Was supposed to be.
He didn't want to do it back then, but now they have rights to do it or whatever. So. I'm super pumped for it.
Though, because the whole game was supposed to be called. It was supposed to be called.
The whole game was based on him. Like that's what it was. It was supposed to be like kickboxing.
The game was supposed to be called Kumite.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was the Bloodsport tournament
Bloodsport.
in the movie. Yeah, in the movie Bloodsport.
Yeah, dude, that's what it was supposed to be.
Charlie.
Damn. That one's fucking badass. You know what movie's hilarious? Sorry, the fucking Hot Shots where they do the gummies and the fucking the candy with the caramel. It's like instead of the man, those are good. Hot Shots. Anyway,
hey, Hot Shots was the fool. Remember they dropped the ball? They dropped the missile on the dude and just smashed him. Instead of blowing up, just
Charlie Sheen. All right, sorry, we're going off the rails.
Okay, so now back in Halliday's journals. Now they're trying to figure out what the second clue is, and it's a leap not taken, and then he keeps.
My bad. Catch me up. Did they find the first key? Where are we at now?
We found the first key.
Okay,
pretty much each act we're doing as they find the keys.
Okay, perfect. All right.
Yeah. So now in Act 2, they're working on key number 2, and so they're back in the Halliday journals. And the leap not taken, he remembers Halliday and Kira. He said there was only one mention of Kira inside this whole, inside the whole ordeal, and they don't really know who that is necessarily until they, kind of explore this. Like, wait, Ogden Morrow's wife? It's like all these like little things are like just going off.
Yeah, because there's an obituary. Or he sees that right in his little van cave, and it's like her name, Underwood, or something like that. But then it was like
Karen Underwood.
Karen
Underwood.
We're gonna go with
maybe it's not Underwood. I don't know, but it's something like that effect.
For copyright purposes, we're going with Karen.
And
yeah, exactly.
This is the only reference of her in the entire Halliday journals. And then Ogden Morrow's like, no way, that can't be true. She was such a huge part of both of their lives. And he's like, no, I bet you it's the only one. He was like, I'll bet you all my coin. And he goes and checks it.
He's bet it, then, motherfucker.
He's like, he's right. And he's like, you're right. And he's like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, bet's a bet. Here you go. And flicks a quarter.
Oh, that's the curator, right?
Yeah, the curator.
Because that's all he had for real.
When he's
the
like,
the coin.
He's like, oh, quarter, cool. Here, you can just have it. Don't worry about it. Like the curator's like broke or something, and then he flicks it back to him, and then he ends up taking it back like he should, because that comes into play.
Yeah, you need this wink.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's crazy too, because it's almost like it's set. It's just like a video game. There's a way you beat it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he opened the chest right there, like a little flute, whatever.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't need this shit. He's like, no.
You need this.
Someone get the baby. Someone get the baby.
Yep, you better take it. And so Artemis,
close that door.
He tells Parzival to meet him at the dance club. That's where it's all going down. Now they find me at the club now. And so next scene is them in, pretty sure they're in Aech's basement is where they're at. And now he's
getting ready to go to the club. And it reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Airborne. It's like a rollerblading movie, but Seth Green comes out and he's changing, and he's doing like a whole bunch of different style changes, but he's like completely different personalities every time. He has like long hair. He has like a crisscross look with his pants backwards sagging. So that reminded me of this scene, basically. And I think there's other scenes in different movies that do similar things for they're nervous. It's a big date kind of thing or whatever. She asked into the dance area or whatever. And he's trying to pick out a suit with his avatar to wear, even though Aech is trying to tell him like, hey, none of this shit matters because it's like fake. Y'all are in a virtual world. It could be a 300-pound dude in his mom's basement or whatever.
Yep. And I love that movie Airborne, by the way. It's classic movie. And what's his name? Jacob Vargas, who's in there, Snake, little Joker from next Friday. Like, he's so funny in there. He's like so pissed to be in that speech class.
That's a good movie, man. Good 90s callback.
Yeah, has to give a speech, and he was like, I don't even like speech. I don't even know how I got signed up for it. So
I like how they're trying to be all hard at the end, and they go to this Mitchell's house. And it's like, no, ma'am. Yeah, whatever. They're all respectful, and they come in.
Oh, man, that shit's funny. And what did Tino say? He said how she got to get to the park in the book where he gets an Uber Betty. Oh, man, what's an Uber Betty? Sounds like a lady of the evening.
Sounds like it sounds like some Grand Theft Auto stuff.
But yeah, it's funny all the outfits that he's trying on, getting ready for the date. Should I go a little Thriller, some Duran Duran, some punk?
And H is just like, no.
80s reference upon 80s reference. It's so funny. And then you're gonna wear the clothes from your favorite movie. Like that's what you're gonna do right now.
Yeah.
And it's funny because don't be that guy. I am that guy.
Yeah.
She's gonna get my reference. She's gonna love it.
She does.
Because everybody knows like the different references, because everyone saw all this shit from the 80s now. I do like how
but like I don't know about like people in 2045, you know what I mean? That'd be like us getting references from like the 1880s and thinking it's cool or some shit. I don't know. I haven't done the math on that, but
what would the equivalent be? It's like 60 years for them. So what would that be for us right now?
Like us thinking shit from the 1940s was cool.
It would be the 1930s. It'd be the 60s. It could be a crazy callback to the 60s. But see, it would have to be something like this. It's a video game challenge worth $500 billion. And like it's all based on 60s like trivia. I'm sure we would all get nerded out in some 60s trivia trying to figure this out.
I try to get nerded out about it, I guess. I try to find some cool stuff about it. Like the Doors were around in the 60s. Okay, cool. Yeah, because it's like pre 70s eras, right before disco. It was probably a little cooler for like blues and rock and roll and shit and drugs and psychedelics. So actually 60s are pretty dope. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. And just straight to the dance club for him. And it's funny, he's got his little like swagger like type of walk to him. It's funny because one of the
Saturday
things
Night Fever kind of thing going on.
Yeah. And it's funny because one of the like Steven Spielberg asked him, he was like, okay, Waithe and Parzival have to like walk differently, right? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, Parzival, he's got this like this swag to him. Like he's got a real spring in his step, real confident about himself. And then he said he played the Saturday Night Fever song for him. And he was like, all right, action, now walk.
That makes sense. Like some Bee Gees stuff. You can tell the winner.
Yeah. And it's so funny because like, man, I don't know, when we were growing up, 90s, even early 2000s. If there was ever someone doing some stuff like that, it might have been hella corny. Like, oh, you're doing disco. Like, oh, man, who the fuck are you? Like,
my dad.
It wouldn't be cool. But, because, this whole, thing is from, a lot of 70s and 80s and, even a little bit of 90s, pop culture, mixed in. Yeah, going out there with some BGs. With the whole disco floor out there in the dance club, they really had it going.
You know what they were trying to recreate right there?
What?
Saturday Night Fever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking John Travolta, the whole schmobile.
Yeah.
Is that a word, schmobile? There it is.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool the way that they they show when they're dancing, puts the arm on the shoulder or whatever, and you kind of see her hands running down, because you feel everything. And she was like
between his legs.
you teared up. Oh yeah, I got the X1. It's got the carbon fiber crotch.
You did come prepared. She slides between his legs, while they're floating in the air and shit.
He was, I think he finished right there.
He said those are real Avatar moments right there. Those are real Avatar moments right there.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know, when I saw a meme one time and it was like, dude sold out his whole race just to clap some alien cheeks or something about Avatar.
I believe it, man. Getting the virtual cheeks, man. That's what he's trying to get.
Yeah, man. It's funny too because they're all somewhere in their own spot, just jacking off, aren't they? Jacking off. Their avatars just running rampant.
Oh man. And yeah, that's it's funny when they start doing the Saturday Night Fever, shit out there, and it's like everybody is everyone is so
they're all watching them.
Percival and Artemis,
have a dance floor, drawing a bunch of attention to each other, to themselves. Also,
look at it.
They're not supposed to be drawing that much attention to themselves.
And he's already super whipped, man. What the hell is going on? Like, I want to meet you real
he tells her, he tells her he loves her.
He was jocking, bro. He was jocking hella hard, bro.
Loser.
And that's where maybe the movie does like the injustice on like how much he actually knows her, because like in the beginning, like, I've seen all her Twitch streams, I've seen all her walkthroughs. Like he's been following her for like multiple years.
Yeah,
like,
they just make him seem like a big simp in this.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess that's so you got that from the book, right? Book?
From the audiobook.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it'll fucking elaborate, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what, too? I guess like, you know what I mean? From watching it too, it's you know, it's like, it's kind of a real representation of how fools are online when they jocking something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, because I mean, bruh, like they could like on something online. You don't really know them. You know the version of that they project. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and even she says in here, like, you don't know what I look like. Like you just see like what I want you to see. And
it is a trip because
she's talking about her disfigurement. They make a big old deal about it.
Yeah.
What is it? Her boobs are too big.
No,
that's so bad.
She's got like a big birthmark like on her eye.
Yeah, it's not even that bad. She looks like Domino from.
I was just about to say that. I would have fucked Domino from X-Men. It looks like Domino, bro. Okay, my bad. No, you reminded me which character we're talking about right now. Yeah, keep bringing me up to speed. I'm out. I just came from the Oasis, bro. It's it's hella expensive out there these days.
Full simple.
Matrix is way cheaper, bro.
Oh yeah, the Oasis, man, you got to have that coin.
Yeah,
the Matrix is way cheaper. That's why you keep bugging out in the Matrix.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I get all the good out there.
Yeah, I mean, the way to go would just be to rent that, buy the virtual real estate, get the strip club, and then because
and let the coin flow.
It's easy money. Yeah. You know how much people would be up in there.
Hell yeah.
And see, I would specialize in having the weirdo strip club. You know what I mean? Like, you
gotta have little rooms.
You want to see Goro's sister get naked? I'm gonna have all the weirdo shit at my shit, bro. Because that's good money. Right? Weirdos' money is the same money, bro.
You literally could go find any of the Disney princesses. Like, oh, you want to see Princess?
You want
tonight? She's coming here.
Pussy. Look, I have like the actual titty twister.
You want to see some vampire stuff?
You want to see some vampire pussy?
Oh man.
And that would be my avatar, Cheech Marin in
fucking Dusk Till Dawn. That's hilarious. But with stunners on and the Niner hat saying to me. Tino, you want to see Ursula's pussy?
That's me, man. That's my avatar, bro. I'm Cheech Marin, but with a Niner hat and stunners on.
Oh man,
I'll be Tarantino from that movie, but the vampire version when he's all.
I was gonna
he was scary.
I was gonna say by the end of this, let's try to think of what we would want our avatars to be, like that. When we're given the ratings in Act 3, let's think about that along the way.
I'm about to have multiple avatars, like Buddy, like how he was Z and he was what's his name, and you know what I mean.
You can have multiple. If you
have all of them, man.
Let's see what I'd like to be.
He, of course, when he starts simping and then says his real name, and then that's when Irock is like, "Oh, we got him, and then all the Sixers and everything coming in there. Man, it seems like there's thousands of them coming in there. Lucky he upgraded that armor. He would have already zeroed out. Like he bought that new armor, so he's able to take some hits. But yeah, they're about to go down, and lucky he's got that Zemeckis cube, and like that's when you get the little Back to the Future. Sounds.
Zemeckis.
Yeah.
Why is that familiar? The director of something.
Back to the Future. Yeah. And so that's when
this Zemeckis cube, bro. I just popped one of those.
There you go. And it was funny because like Steven Spielberg, like he was going to a point where like they're talking about all the sounds and stuff. He's like got to a point where he was like, I need a Back to the Future sound from here. And they were like, you want it to sound like Back to the Future? And he was like, no, I want it to be the exact Back to the Future. sound. And that's what it was when the Zemeckis cube went off. It was like a Rubik's cube that you had to do real quick and then threw it up and then it rewound everything 60 seconds. And that was how they were able to escape from the dance.
And she's like, and you're barely deciding to use it now? They've been getting shot up for like 3 minutes.
Hell yeah. They barely escaped that shit.
How are you going to go back in the time, right? You got to have some shit happen. Like, all right, now use it.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, wait till the last worst possible second. I was like, all right, I'm about to die. Let's go back.
But you can tell Artemis is on something different, like right there, because she was like, okay, I see what you're about. Like, she was like, I can't let you distract me. She's like, got bigger fish to fry. Because, like, you find out she's part of this whole, like, rebellion, against IOI and all the loyalty camps and all that shit.
She's part of the revolution.
Yeah. And Wade's just like, he just doesn't want to be poor. Like, that's it. Like, he was dealt a shitty card, but then when you find out about, like, the card that Samantha was dealt, it's just, like, way, way worse.
I mean, his name is Wage. The minimum. I mean, they're just saying no. He's like, listen, I have rough in the motherfucking Oasis being, you know what I'm saying? Low wages.
And it's Wade Watts. And he said,
I think he said Wage. I was like, that's a hard ass name, man.
Wade
Watts, that'd be cool.
Wade Watts. And he
yeah,
said,
good, because I was gonna say I missed a whole nother character's name was Wage.
He said his dad named him that because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego.
I was gonna say it reminds me of Deadpool because it's Wade.
Yeah, and not just Deadpool, the other guy, is it Killshot, Deathstroke? Yeah, because if you look up their
Tino, we're saving that for act number 3, so everybody's got a little while. Think of what you want your Oasis character to look like.
Wade Wilson.
Yeah, Wade Wilson, and there's another one.
Slade
Gibson.
Yeah, it's a knockoff.
It was a knockoff. Yeah, but the DC one was first. Thank you, Peacock. That's why I love you, bro.
I was already gonna pull out the comic book for reference, but I was like,
he was like, hold on, bro. I have it tatted on the back of my shin.
Now, check this out. I have a whole an entire back reference. Like, there's literally anything you need to know is in here.
I already know what I'm gonna be.
Batman encyclopedia.
I'm gonna be a Lego motherfucker where I just
save it for act number 3.
All right.
Number 3.
I'm gonna be all kind of shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
You can have a whole list. Hold on.
I already have a list.
You have a whole list. Hold on.
I already have 10 things.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I might even just be me in that motherfucker. because there's the other motherfuckers being me. I'm like, fuck that. I'm the real Bogard Scott-free.
Him throwing out his name. Just him throwing out his name. That was enough for them to track him down because they cross-reference who was the last Wade to buy an X1 armor suit or whatever. And so they found his exact location, his full name, his full identity. And because they knew his full identity, they could
one Wade only.
Well, it was the Wade who most recently bought the X1 suit or whatever. So that's what it was. Because not everyone's buying those X1 suits all the time. Those are hella exclusive, right? You got to be a baller to have one of those. And so yeah, then they send him a message directly to his rig or whatever. And this was pretty cool how they had the hologram go into his office or whatever.
That's true.
And man, it was he wasn't ready for that. He wants to be not a part of this clan and he doesn't want them to own it, but it's definitely not a revolutionary like Artemis is.
Yeah, he offers him 25 mil or 25 bonus or I don't know what the hell. And kind of shit.
Too. That's a Greek. There's something to do with Greek mythology too. I love how everything means something.
Yeah, for sure.
The hunter.
Yeah, the hunter. There it is.
Yeah.
Is he?
And then she had a twin brother.
He has 800 points right now. I don't even got shit, bro.
No, Artemis had
Are we keeping score on this show?
No, Peacock's winning though for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And Daryl said Ernest Cline should take the shark out of Jaws' new wave music. The game developers' only friend, personal knowledge of the developers is the most important factor in the campaign. Take ET's bike. That'd be cool. And you know what was funny? So when I'm watching some of the behind the scenes, so TJ Miller, the dude who plays IROC, he's like, I'm fully in character today because we're meeting, we're going in there for Steven. And he was like, I'm going full ET. I got my red hoodie on, going full ET mode. And then he's like, I'm taking this off. Look at this, full chunk. Got the chunk shirt, and he had the chunk like the red shirt. And he was like, and then check out the shoes. Back to the Future 2 shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, for real.
Hey, you have a pair of those, right?
Ones that, like,
I never got those ones.
Were they the gray Nike ones that auto lace? Like,
yeah. Peacock, did you get a pair of those?
Oh.
They were like going for like 12.
Yeah, for sure. That's like minimum. I've seen them for like
right. Yeah, they're going for like $5 now, right?
Yeah, for sure. Those are expensive.
Yeah, the ones that lace up for real, right?
Yeah, they're like super high top.
Well, yeah, they lace up themselves, right? I mean, in the movie, anyway.
No,
like in the movie they do it all fast, but like in real life they do it all fucking slow. It's like
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They got them in for real life.
Yeah, for
sure.
What you gotta do is you gotta film it and then you put it in fast forward. So it's like,
that's probably the only way around that shit.
I would never wear those.
No, of course not.
I would not pay for them.
I need to be rich. Okay, someone buy me them. Ooh, there it is. Somebody buy me those.
Tina said Artemis is considered the best Gunther around for sure. He's seen all her Twitch streams, all her walkthroughs, everything. And
it really is Twitch in there too.
That's what, everything.
Yeah,
like, this is a whole world that's continued to 20.
No, I'm just saying, no, but like, even in terms, like, listen. I really watched it. I promise you, right? And I fully simulated like the first time I watched it, I was tore back. I went through a good amount of it last night.
I was in the movie.
Yeah, and they talk about YouTube in there as well. Tina said YouTube everything, bro. Hell yeah.
I just didn't know Twitch was really a thing. I didn't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like Twitch already existed. Okay.
Yeah, but I was watching the movie earlier today, Bogard. I saw you in there.
Bro, I told you I'm in that shit, bro. I didn't even know it either. And bro, I got no back ends, bro.
So here's what they offered him. So they offered him his own rig, like he had that huge, setup and all that. They offered him a $4 million salary with the penthouse, a salary a year. And if he found the Easter egg, he would get 25 mil. But it's crazy because, who knows how long? This is based on, it took them 5 years to find the first key. Maybe it takes 10 more years to find the next 2 keys. Who the hell knows? But, yeah, it's crazy, because, that egg is worth $500 billion. Finding all 3 keys. $500 billion. And you own the Oasis. that's the biggest part of it. The money, I'm sure, is really good for them.
It's a classic Willy Wonka-esque joint, right?
Yeah.
So that's literally the guy.
You get it. It's
really the guy. Literally the guy I was telling Peacock at the beginning, because that's what Peacock said too. Literally the guy who wrote this said, "What if Willy Wonka created video games?" And his whole tournament was like Easter eggs that you had to find within the game, and that's how the whole main plot of the story.
Yeah, that was the premise, bro. They were smoking some good.
Bro,
what if? Right, and then there was the homie, right?
Yeah,
he could have even been the homie. Oh yeah. Tell me more. He starts writing everything down. Okay, wait a second. Hold on. So it's a game. Okay, yep. All the Easter eggs, right? And they're all these fucked up. They're on everything, LSD, all the shit. And then you heard of the Matrix, bro. Then there was the Oasis, right? Oasis. How do you spell it?
Avatar, the Matrix.
Right? He's writing all the shit. And then then 2010 comes. Like, I got it. And that whole dude, he goes, "Man, bro, that's a good ass idea." He don't even remember it. The homie.
The guy who came up with it.
Tino says, "Bruh, for real, blazing fat." He said, "Dude is writing. No wonder I like this story so much." Hell yeah.
For real though. Motherfucker sitting there like, ooh, he might have been watching all the movies. He's like, "Listen, bruh." Did he even know? Was he so high there, or did he even know that there was all Spielberg joints, basically?
Of course he knew that, but he didn't know that Steven Spielberg would end up being the one. He didn't know that Spielberg would end up being the one to direct the movie. That was destiny written in the stars.
Hey, Spielberg, I wonder if he got upset too. Like he says, he reads the screenplays. Like, man, this is really good. He's like, "Oh my shit, I don't like that." No, if I don't take this now, they're gonna get someone else to do it.
No, the screenplay didn't even have a bunch of things in there, and he said
Really?
it was on him to like he only was going to use 2 references from things that he
And
did.
then he used them all.
I mean, he didn't use them all.
Well, I mean, all the ones that they wanted to use, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future. What else? Is that the only 2?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yep, duh.
And is that it?
He was like, you know what? I'll give you guys 3. Ooh, that's
I'm just
me.
guessing on Jurassic Park.
My avatar is I'm Steven Spielberg mashed with George Lucas, like in one.
I'm gonna keep telling you to wait for Act 3 because every time you do this, you're gonna have a different avatar for sure.
I am.
I have like 8 written down for sure.
And man, and so he turns the whole shit down, that they're offering and says pretty much no, like screw you, I'm just gonna win it myself. And then he was like, you know what? I kind of only did this because I was supposed to and be like a corporate, like good guy. Because like I was really hoping you said no. Because now we're just gonna blow up your whole family's house.
Oh no, it's fucked up.
And they do.
Yeah, and they do. You see all these drones? They're just going in there. You did.
I mean, come on. It's almost like you can't fuck up the timeline, bro. That family was supposed to die, bro.
Yeah,
and
they were piece of shit, bro. The guy, the stepdad, was even like telling him shit right as soon as he dies.
What are you gonna do? They might go on with it. They're gonna go on to have PTSD in the Oasis. You have to die. That's their destiny, bro.
Done data. And so pretty much you see all the drones going and putting all the bombs all over their stack or whatever. And all the way up 6 stories, 7 stories, whatever the hell it is. And he's running there and he's trying to call. And when I was watching the behind the scenes footage, they show, so they do blow this thing up. Like it doesn't fall over, that's all the CGI. But I mean, it's a huge ass like explosion, and he's got
the pyro.
He's got to do all this stuff like at the same time, where he's running towards it, and blows up, and then he runs back or like whatever. So he's got all the marks and everything. And but yeah, in the movie though, full timber all the way down, and then he gets kidnapped, just like right out of the blue.
Back to his fan cave. He's about to phone in and be like, warn everybody, they came after me, and Iowa came after me, or Iowa came after me in real life. Iowa. I don't know why I said Iowa.
Those are the feds, bro.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I guess what's bigger than the feds? Like the fucking, it's Interpol. It's fucking, what is it, bro? It's Big Brother.
They're not even the feds. They're just like a big gang. Because like
just a fucking,
it's just a big gang. Like they're not even like they're no authority. They're no authority. It's like it's the Wild Wild West, and they got the most guns. Like that's really what it is.
I mean, so what do we call them then?
Thugs.
Oh, that's the IOI.
Yeah.
And he's saying, like, I'm trying to find an analogy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess they're the feds in the game, not in real life. Though.
Yeah.
They just got all the guns, man. They're a big gang. Like that's what it is.
So they're not quite the feds then. They're like, they're like the Los Pepes. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You talking about that green frog?
No, the Los Pepes, bro. The one that it was the organization that took down Pablo for real.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's funny.
The ones that the CIA came to work with. The Los Pepes, bro. Viva la revolución.
Yeah, it's like the Colombian SEAL Team 6, right?
They are like the Pepes, bro. They kind of are, bro. Okay,
but it's like a corporation, bro, with gamers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no. But in the game, they're the guns, though. They come through, and they're kind of like they're like a dictatorship, man. They're gonna swoop in, breaking the rules.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You violating.
Yeah, these motherfuckers. And so, luckily, he finds out he's kidnapped by the Revolution. And he gets to meet Samantha in real life, who's Artemis in real life. And it's funny because Wade's just like such a nerd, but like he's got like nerd game, Like, I mean, it's kind of funny. He's like, well, he knows that she's all self-conscious about her big, her birthmark, like on her eye.
She covers it after she meets it.
Yeah, her hair is
she turns away. She's like, oh, my hair is so like the wind blew it. The wind blew her hair. And she like put it back to cover her birthmark.
And Waithe is like,
and he notices.
It's so hot.
This is the first girl I might ever be able to kiss.
He's like, hey, listen. I promise you, I'll bust all over that birthmark.
Like I've never.
It's like a target. Even it's like, listen, you don't understand how convenient that is. I've been working on my shot.
And man, it's so they talk for a little bit.
It gets one of those things that they say, like, oh man, like when you're playing freaking Halo or whatever, like they gives you like, after you get a couple kills in a row or whatever, like, anyways, it's going too far with the thumb on the face. Anyway,
he's trying to go for the he's just trying to go for the headshot. I think that's what
there it is. That's what it is. He's like, the net, oh yeah, the headshot.
Snipe them.
In her eye.
So as they're talking,
victory royale.
They look like they're about to kiss, but really they end up. Oh, I figured out the next clue.
She hasn't
figured out the next clue, and it's inside a movie.
Oh, the next clue is blue balls. That's what it is.
Pretty much.
They watched a movie together, so they go to the media center or whatever the hell it is, because they have every movie that he's ever watched and every TV show he's ever watched, and they said pull up the movies that were watched between these 3 days or whatever, and they take it to The Shining.
Detective work.
So this whole part was not in the book. I've only got 4 hours in, but they said this was the big sequence that was not in the book. They added it for the movie.
Yeah, well, he said the reason they picked The Shining was because the clue was something the creator created but didn't like or something like that, or hated its creation, and it was because Stephen King didn't like the movie version of
the creator didn't like.
Yeah, Stephen King didn't like the movie.
You know, it's funny because I don't like a lot of Stephen King movies.
Yeah, I think they do a little justice. You got to read the books.
Yeah, the books.
Yeah, and it's because like no matter what, it's like it's really hard to.
Tino will tell you, he's like, the movie's Ready Player One's good, but bro, the book, it's only 4 hours. I mean, in dog years, 16. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like you can't like fuck. People think you're crazy if you make a 3-hour movie, but like, man, this is a 16-hour audiobook. Like, how could they really do it the justice?
They did
in like a 2-hour movie. Like,
yeah,
it's hard. It's hard. Because like literally like 3 hours in the
I was gonna go for the 30-second pause. I was waiting for it, and then you do it. All right.
3 hours into the audiobook is like covered in like 3 minutes of the movie where they're explaining the Oasis. So it's just really crazy.
Well, you ever heard of the term "a picture is worth 1,000 words"?
Okay, have you ever read Moby Dick? Pause.
Yeah, back we had to in high school.
Yeah, the first the first chapter is about an oil painting, bro. It's like, oh, come on, man, what? Wasted my time.
Yeah, yeah, but they say a picture worth 1,000 words. There, whatever you could show in a movie in 1 minute, what I'm saying, in a book, it could be damn near a whole chapter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that montage, dude, the Rocky montage. That's like 8 months in like 80 seconds.
Yeah. Montage. And they said that this was at least Aech says that this was one of the toughest like parts to like film for her in real life, because they said it was like 3 days like of just like filming, like the blood scene and the different scenes just inside here, and like they showed her like it was like
you want to do a bulk of it. They want to do a bulk of it legit and then CGI the rest of it, right? You know what I'm saying? As far as like a scene like that, right?
Yeah, and I mean they're pretty much doing like most of the stuff that their characters are doing, they're acting it out. You know, like even the scene through the blood, it's like her, like they had her like on a chair and they're like moving.
Yeah, that's right. So they're not even using no like real life effects. It's all because they're wired up to everything.
Yeah,
they're in that black suit with the dots and the lines.
Yeah,
they're doing full Mortal Kombat 90s shit.
Yeah, and they said that they're like, I mean, they're on. I mean, you know, there's nothing around them, but if they
motion capture, there you go.
But if they literally look at the monitor, they can see how they look in the video game world because that's what they're filming, right? The video
that's how they're doing. So you mean to tell me that's how they're doing the London game?
Yeah,
it's like that.
Yeah,
the players are out there playing with all those stupid dots on it.
They're watching the replay. Why do I look like Buzz?
I think they said it's their shoulder pads and their helmets that have like, you know, some kind of motion capture like shit in them.
I don't know how that's going to work, but I bet you it's going to be.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out tomorrow morning.
What if they were to chuck their helmet off, right? Did they look like they were decapitated?
I don't know. We're going to see. Okay. You can't take your helmet off, right? You got to leave your helmet on.
Flag.
It's a penalty on
all of a sudden, he's a Lego or something.
Yep.
It's the brick that falls over.
And Daryl said the story was written by a computer nerd. It was part autobiography and fantastic. There's no way Spielberg could have given the project the respect it deserved. He did make something. Yeah, and I mean, the way that they did it, I mean, let's see, what was the budget on this movie? Had to be insane. Somewhere in between 155 and 175 million was their budget.
Somewhere.
Straight cash, homie. He says CGI costs bucks. That's showbiz. Hell yeah, man. I mean, the actors,
easy.
Back then too.
It's a bunch of no-name actors. Like they're probably just getting.
When did this movie come out?
2018.
So when do you think they started like in production of this?
2014, 2015.
Right. And then in post-production probably took 3 years?
Probably.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
You know, because people don't know that the Avatar, that shit, how long were they in post?
20 years.
5 years, right?
Yeah, 6 years, something like that.
Something.
You know what I'm saying? And I think the original cut could have been like 8 hours too, for real. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gino said agree. It's probably the most difficult booking to make into a movie. And especially because like they have to build everything. I know that a lot, they're building CGI, wise. But even like the stacks and all that, they really built those. Like that wasn't CGI.
And Minecraft shit was sick though, too.
Yeah.
They know how to market this shit, bro. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right, man. I'm going to spend so much money in Minecraft, man.
Of course I got
and motherfucking Roblox and shit like that, bro. Listen, bro. I own several properties, bro. My kids. I'm an investor. I invest in so much. I invest in real estate, bro. It's just all in Roblox and shit. You know what I'm saying?
All virtual.
I own all this shit, man.
And so, throughout all this craziness, I mean, shit. Aech is in the blood. That comes out of the elevator, and like. As getting pulled down, sees the little picture of like
that's all callbacks from The Shining too, which is really fucking awesome.
Yeah, and so they see the picture, one of the pictures that Aech doesn't know whether it's from The Shining or not until she sees Halliday and Kira on it, and then you see it kind of
because that's from the movie. Because you see Jack Nicholson in that picture,
right?
Exactly, and he was there back then. It's like a trip, you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Eerie.
Yeah,
it was a
whoa! The chicken or the egg? God damn it!
And but the little Easter eggs and the little clues, you got to be looking out for that, right? That's the only way that you figure this out. And
Aech is holding on to that picture, getting flushed down the hallway with all that blood, and the frame tears, and it splits right in the middle between Halliday and Kira, which is, I think, like on purpose, right? Little sign.
Yeah, pretty trippy when she goes into the room. Hey there, naked lady. Turned into the decapitating old lady right in front of her.
So scary.
And
then goes outside and the whole huge hammer coming down and everything. And
here's Johnny.
Gets saved right in time. And then they go into the ballroom. Because Aech reveals, I saw a picture of Kira and everyone stopped. What? Where?
It's just like the movie, like the slow. That shit was hard.
Yeah, and then they figure it all out. Artemis takes the leap, and asks, gets over to Kira and asks, "Would you like this? Would you care to dance?"
Yeah, she's just jumping over on all the dead body, ghost bodies, zombie bodies, whatever you want to call them, to get there. Everybody gets transported back outside.
Yep. They respawn.
Yeah, it's funny when everyone, all the Sixers, when they're trying to, beat the Shining, the Shining one. They're all scared. Every second, every part of that level is just getting taken out by them. And but yeah, they figure it out. They figure it out. They all get the keys now. And I guess here's the part that like I want to hear in the movie, because there's like it's a real disjustice in between like finding key 2 and finding key 3, like the actually like how you get it. They don't even explain like any real part of it. Like happens like very, very quickly. But that's how we're gonna wrap up act number 2 as they find key number 2. Make sure if you have not, make sure you go subscribe to the podcast. Silver Screen Breakdowns on Apple, on Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review if you have not. Make sure you check out all the different acts. We always break down 3 acts, and sometimes we get some bonus content for you when we're bullshitting with the crew. So make sure you're checking all those out, and you're hitting the automatic downloads on Apple. And subscribe on YouTube, Silver Screen Breakdowns. Go do it. Do it now. And Peacock.
Do it.
Remind everybody where to find you at.
NeonPeacockMerch.com. Go check out all my gear. There's a sale going on right now. Universe, give me coin.
Yeah, there we go. All right. We're going to be getting into act number 3. Here we go.
Coming in hot.
And we're coming in hot.
What up? What up? It's Alex, the fantasy football hustler, back at you.
What's happening? Dr. Bartholomew Bogarty McFly the third, Esquire. Coin giving.
Yes. And I am the Neon Peacock, filling in for our man Nelly now.
Last time on Silver Screen Breakdown?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's right.
Like a pro. The whole crew, they finally figure out the clue to getting key number 2. They have to make it all the way into the Shining, and Artemis is the one who figures it all out, that she needs to get on the zombie dance floor and go ask Kira to dance. And she does, and they lock in key number 2. And this is big time. This is big time. IOI.
How far has anyone gotten to this point before this?
Percival found the first key ever, and it took 5 years to find the first key.
And then,
let me ask you this. Like, okay, I know Grand Theft Auto, we can just kind of relate it to that, okay?
I always got the code and cheated.
There's a lot. Let's say you could.
Nice.
Okay.
No cheat code.
All right.
You know, they have
10 years.
You could do a lot of things in this world as it opens up.
10 years to pass the first couple levels, I promise.
I played the Mafia video game, and it took me a long time to climb the ranks.
Keep going on shootouts.
Level 1 of 1. It takes a while. They figure out, someone finally figures out where you go for level 1 of 1. But nobody could beat this. Like, how long would it take you to stop trying to do that before you just quit? Like that part of it.
I think 5 years is a good solid. Like I'm done here.
If I got the pussy in real life, I would have just quit the whole game. I would have said, I'm out of the Oasis. I got pussy in the real life. Just saying though. You know, I mean, she got a birthmark right on her labia. It's fucking awesome.
I don't think girls
right on the pussy lip.
I don't think girls were giving up the bonus hole in the real life.
No,
like you had to be a player.
You
had to be a player in the Oasis if you were even going to get any of that.
I mean, you know, it was rough. How long did it took to answer your question? Man, 5 years in the Oasis, right? That's not a long time, actually.
Yeah, it flies.
Yeah. We're playing 10, 12 hours a day. I mean, I bet those days are just like flying by.
Yeah. Damn, but to get the first key only and the second key, that's a lot of, you know, when you get a game what does the game say? It's like an RPG, right? Or like, how about this? What was that one called? Final Fantasy 7, right? Like,
Yeah.
100 hours a game.
For the
Like,
PlayStation.
okay, 100. Okay,
Yeah.
we're doing
Yeah,
this.
because you had to read everybody
Backed out
talk.
quick.
Dude, you play Final Fantasy, bro? Like, you have to read what they say and then pick an item, select it, then attack, and then it attacks and it takes off 4 damage. And then you have to read what they say and then wait for them to attack. Like, dude, no wonder it's 100 hours.
I actually learned how to read just to play that game. I ain't gonna lie.
That game
It took me about 5 years to learn how to read first before I was like, I'm ready.
That game
Final
taught me
Fantasy.
patience.
That's why, by the time I came around, it was about Final Fantasy X. I know how to read now.
The double CD.
Man.
Right.
It gets real wild real quick because now it's like they got to take them out in the real world. Like, these motherfuckers got 2 keys. How are they doing this so good? We know that there's multiple of these peeps. And then so they find one of the dudes in the revolution, the one who's got the face tattoo. Of course, this is why you can't get the tattoos, man. You will always get caught.
That's the guy they send to go do all the errands out in the real world. The dude with the recognizable face tattoo that sticks out like a sore thumb while they're being incognito. Real
He's
smart.
at the fucking farmer's market, and they're just all on him. They're just all
and
on
the drone's like right there, and he don't see it either. Like, come on, man. Super obvious.
Man.
That part pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, come on. And then like it's all zoomed in.
He's
And facial recognizes this Mike Tyson thing.
Yeah. It sucked because like everything happened so quick. It's like they're Artemis and Waithe or whatever in the real world. They're reading the clue and they're both like trying to figure it out. They literally just read the clue through one time and that's it. That's all we get about the third key. Like, we literally get nothing about it. The drones come in, start shooting it up. They got to get the hell out of there.
This is no national treasure. They don't like build up all the clues so where you can be like, no. It gets real dark at this point. I mean, Samantha, she surrenders herself so Waithe can get out of there. She thinks that Wade's going to be the guy to bring this down. She thinks that he's like the ultimate, like, Halliday fanboy with all the knowledge. And she gets taken to one of the loyalty camps. You owe like 200,000 credits or like whatever the fuck it is. And it's an indentured servitude. She becomes basically a slave.
A slave.
They're putting people to work. Like, it's crazy. You're working off your debt now. And I don't even know what the hell they're doing, but they're like placing explosives like around something. I don't even know
basically, you know what's crazy is they're basically Manchurian candidates.
Yeah.
You will do my bidding as I call upon you.
Yeah.
Yep. And it is it's a little ridiculous. And so she gets taken to pretty like in person, you know, to their little camp or whatever, and they're all in these pods and they got the sets on the rigs on their head and they can't fucking move anything. Can't take it off. And she's stuck. And this is the part that I have the gripe with in the like they just they cut from her being at the camp to them saying what the third challenge already is.
There's got to be more in the book that are probably
there has to be because they don't build up.
You know, put it in the chat.
Like, you know, it's on some certain planet. Because there was some like quick reference to that. It's on some.
That moved kind of fast. All of a sudden, they have to like find a game,
movie or video game references all the time.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what game that was. Well, that in my mind.
Adventure.
Yeah, Adventure, and so
okay.
Yeah, and so this Easter egg really existed in Adventure, and he said that was like.
The creator of the game.
Well, the Easter egg was
the first Easter egg or whatever.
Yeah, he put his
name.
Want to
give him credit, so he put his name in the joint.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the creator of the movie or the creator of the book and everything, like that was one of like the leading storylines. He knew that was going to be like one of the last keys or whatever, at least in the movie. I don't know if it's like that in the book where it's the last one.
The first Easter egg ever.
And nobody knows what they're doing for IOI. They just know that the last challenge is like they have to play an Atari game.
I was going to say, Jesus didn't give us the first.
And what did he say about it too? Is the simplicity of the Atari games. How was he explaining it? He was like,
you just gotta. It's even when they mentioned the cute.
He was talking about Pong. He's like, I like the simplicity of it. Or what do you? How do you say it?
It's like a savant. He's all like talking about it all sexual.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He was like really into it. Remember, he's like, it's just yeah, right. You just busting on it. I played ice mess with the bong, basically. I'm just saying. I mean, that's what I got from it. Call me crazy.
Yeah, so that is my damn gripe with that. Is like now they're already like knee deep in the third challenge or whatever to get the third key, and they're all just trying the different games. But every game that they try, they're like dead. They like fall through the ice or whatever with just after a minute into each game.
Is that a Batman callback? No, that's not.
I don't think so.
I don't remember what that's
Ice
a callback.
Climbers?
Everything's in everything in this motherfucker, bro.
For sure. And these guys get pretty clever though with the way that they try to infiltrate IOI. And luckily Waithe remembers like everything from the dude's rig when he was actually in there, and you see him like he has his password like written like right on his rig or whatever.
Yeah,
and
so the dude doesn't game because he's a freaking poser.
He's a freaking noob, man.
Yeah,
he couldn't even remember his password.
Fucking wannabe.
What that's one part that I guess we just kind of glossed over in the second act where he's like, he's trying to sign him on as an employee or whatever, and he was like,
the motherfucker was privileged, bro. He got put on.
He was like, you would love me being the owner, because he was like, first thing that I would do is like build the school from what's it called, from the Breakfast Club and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like,
when there's
getting all the information
free Bueller on something, bro. It said free Bueller on something, bro.
He was a poser. He's fucking poser.
Was it a poster? Something that said free Bueller on it.
I'm not sure. It might have been on the wall somewhere. I mean, they got a
lot of time, bro. I remember I was smacking. And then, like, when I was watching
I asked my cousin about that, man. He would have been in charge of that shit, like the random stuff. Like, what?
Hey, real quick, was that your cousin? One of his new joints on your intro?
Oh, my other cousin, on the song, for the
He was
it's a little snippet. That's the last part of one of his old songs where it just kind of remixes and slows down.
Okay. Oh, word.
It's something different. There's a whole other song to that has like the similar lyrics, but it's a different style of song. It's like two songs in one.
Nice.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, no, but I was talking about my cousin who was the art director or a art director on this movie, this actual movie, Ready Player One.
Word.
Yeah, so it'd be super cool if we can get him on for like an interview. We were talking about that, how like
his name is Austin.
Any kind of behind the scenes, with the art and stuff. That'd be cool.
I haven't seen him since my little girl, or not my little girl, my oldest was a baby, so like 12, 13 years. But
where's he at? Is he out west?
Yeah, he's out west.
Oh, is that the one that used to go out to in the Central Cali back in the days? Yeah. That's dope.
Hell
okay. Yeah, tell him he smokes weed.
I have no idea.
Again, I guarantee you. I know him.
I'm pretty sure. Who knows?
He's in California. He's
related to Peacock, and he's from California.
And at least in California, anyways.
Yeah, there you go.
So this part was always like trippy to me because I was like, man, how did they do this? Like in the beginning, the first time when I saw it, it's like they infiltrated into IOI, and when the dude comes out, what the hell's the dude's name? Nolan, Sorrento, when he comes out, it's like they're already in his office and they like pull off his glasses and they got the guns, right on him, and they're in his office. No idea how, because like, how did they infiltrate this big
Inception
building?
Moment? You know what I mean?
And then you see Waithe. He like just walks to the room, and then it's like it's Aech's basement, and you're like, whoa, they fucking transformed this shit in the IOI. And he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know that he's still in the Oasis, because it's like everything is like
it's like he's in layers now.
Yeah, he's inceptioned.
Yeah. He's so deep into this motherfucker, bro.
Yeah,
his dick is just basically glued to his cock too. I mean, his hand, right? In reality, and he's so immersed in his avatar, bro. Layers and layers, bro.
The dream within the dream.
Yep, and then he sees like a little mirror, pretty much like on the back of the rig, and that's when it's like the doors open, like right behind him, because and then they see, he's like, what? I'm still in the Oasis. Pulls off his glasses. These motherfuckers.
Right.
Almost got him. It was long enough for them to get Sam out of there. Find out the way to like unlock the pod from inside the pod.
Yeah, he was distracted and they were able to rescue her.
I'm so confused.
Which is Artemis was captured and she was in indentured servitude. So the reason that they distracted Sorrento was to get her out of there, get her released, in the real world.
I'm trying to remember what that her little captivity was a callback to something too. I don't know anything right now.
Kind of reminded me of The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
But I don't know. It could have been something else. Or maybe even like a 2001's like Space Odyssey type of like vibes.
No, that's what, bro. You ain't lying. The Fifth Element, but but it's not 80s though. Fifth Element's not 80s. That's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
It could have been. It might have even been like some Space Odyssey shit.
Yeah,
late
70s,
or late
like 60s,
early 70s. Yeah,
maybe. And I guess one part that we didn't talk about yet is they finally, they set the orb up around around the whole third key, so no one could get in there except for the Sixers. And
we're all trying to catch a game,
Yep. And then Aech
Sixers are the Sixers a metaphor for like the devil?
I mean, it kind of
evil minions.
It's almost like the stormtroopers. Like that's what I.
Yeah, no, but I mean, but I'm talking about using the term Sixers. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sixes.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Like because like the the followers are the dead. Like
is there someone who ever had like a 6-digit code? Like that represented something? Because
it's nothing too deep. It's really surface level. I'm just saying, like, because the six and there's the Sixers. You know what I mean? Multiple.
Yeah, 76ers are evil.
Yep.
Yeah, and Drake too. The sixth god.
That's for sure,
dude. He's the devil.
And they all meet in real life now, finally, as well. Aech has got the big old postal van or whatever.
The samurai, the ninja.
And you meet Daito and Zhou in real life, and Zhou's like an 11-year-old, and it's like a badass kid in the Oasis.
Badass.
It's like you're the most badass 11-year-old like ever.
He knows.
And Daito,
I was really proud when they showed that kid. I ain't gonna lie, like this kid's the baddest motherfucker ever. Everybody's like, "That's my son. That's my son." In 6 years.
So funny. And Daito's like, yeah, he knows. And he's like, shut up. He can tell me.
Yeah, feed his ego. Come on. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, huh? Because if you think about it too, it's a world where like, man, this is all they know for real. The real one. Like, even like totally non-related movie, but Inception, remember? He's like, who are you to tell them what's real? Right? Like they live in this world, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This realm, what do we call it? Universe?
Shang Tsung's realm. That's Shang Tsung, isn't it?
They call it
the Oasis. And man, and then like they're getting it ready. It's funny, they got the little webcam or whatever. Can't really describe it any other way than that. And somehow he goes live to where everybody hears him. Like, how's everybody hear the live stream?
He might got like one of them. He might got like a what do they call that shit? He might got one of them upgrades, bro.
The system upgrade.
Yeah, he
coin he did have 100,000 coin.
I was just saying though, bro.
He can do some shit now.
And everybody responds. It's like everybody in the Oasis just like responded.
It's like that was some straight. That's some straight roadblocks.
Like he put up like everybody's following him, bro, and he put out like a Facebook.
Because that's some straight up.
Oh yeah, that's true. Everybody is following him now.
Yeah, and it'll bring you right there too.
Yeah, and he's just like, I'm going live on Twitch right now, and boom.
And everybody just came out of the woodwork. And it's crazy because they're all
everybody meet right here. We're gonna go endgame style in this motherfucker.
They're all shooting at the whole force field and everything, but like they're literally not doing anything. It's really Artemis, who's infiltrated the lair. Now that she's made it out of there, she goes and gets onto one of the Sixers rigs, and then she's actually inside
And
the
fucking
big
from
bubble.
the inside being.
Yeah,
It's an inside job.
Because it was almost impenetrable. That was part of the game, right? Or part of the
you had
the
to,
whole-
the
that
only
was the
way,
order.
infiltrate.
the only way, and this is like forever. He was like, "How long does this thing last?" He was like, "I don't know, like 100 trillion years."
No, he was like,
it's impenetrable. It's impenetrable.
The only way that you can penetrate it is if you have the
mold.
spell. If you
Oh,
have the
the
magic
spell, that's
spell that
right.
that cuts it off. And when she was in there, she goes into the rig, into his rig after she gets out of there to go look up what the spell is, you know, the reversal spell or whatever the hell it is. And she finds it and like writes it down or whatever. And then she throws her little, it's like the camera, but it's like a Bluetooth or something also. Cause then she's saying like the incantation like in there.
Oh, that's a good word, incantation. Bro.
That's what it
Right?
is, bro. It's almost the same. It's almost the same.
Nobody
one
asked me how to spell it.
in Chucky. It's almost the same one that Brad. Yeah, that's the one.
And after saying it, after saying the incantation or whatever, and the whole bubble bursts, it's on. It's on like Donkey Kong at that point.
Wow, bro.
Literally.
But this is a part
of it. Iron Giant
man.
and Mecha.
This is a part of it. This is hold on. Would you call this the this is not even the last level yet, bro? This is like
this is the last level.
It's the last level, but it's the precursor to the final boss.
Yeah, it's not the boss. Like this is like what you got to get past just to be able to get to the boss. Yeah.
This is when the boss like you think he's beaten and then he's like, oh, ha, ha, and all of a sudden he's like huge. You're like, damn,
it's funny how he's got the boombox. Weird.
He's slapping them, right? Hey, that's me. Hold on. We'll get to it. Oh, we're in the third act. Okay.
Yeah, we're in the third act. Okay. And but yeah, so wow, got the whole the 80s boombox. We're not gonna take it. And it's funny how many different we see like the Jack Nicholson Joker like in there almost. I mean, a lot of different pop culture references and all the characters that we're seeing running throughout, you know, the entire Oasis into this battle.
Because, bro, it's the one everybody's been waiting for. This one, bro.
Hell yeah.
It had been prophesied.
Yeah, because he gave him that whole speech where like people have died.
It's been prophesied.
Justice, and it's a post-apocalyptic world, and we're living like shit in the real world.
So it had been prophesied, right? Come on, B.
And it's funny too, because Artemis, she's in the Sixers gear, you know, because she's in the Sixers rig, but she's going around like jacking guns from the Sixers and like shooting them and shit. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? And she's wrecking shop over there.
You say we're in Sixers gear, and I pictured like a Dr. J jersey or some shit.
Oh man, but it's so wild. And then she jumps up on like, I don't even know what the hell it is, some big ass spider looking thing almost, jacks the gun, starts shooting around, then sees Parzival rolling with the DeLorean. She just jumps and like breaks through his windshield and right in the front seat with him. They got people throwing them guns and they're just taking out people along the way.
Hey Tino, in the book, bro, tell him, bro, because the car, the DeLorean, it also is slash fucking Knight Rider, bro.
Kit.
Yeah.
What's the name of it?
They show that detail in the movie, though. In the movie, when they show the inside of DeLorean, you know, it has all the dates like it should, right? But it has that little bar thing across the thing on the dashboard.
Speaking.
Like fucking what's his name? Like Kid, right? But they don't fuck with it in the movie. Maybe there's a director's cut where they fuck with it there. You know what I mean?
You don't have to with a
that's
Hawk, bro.
I saw that shit. I almost nutted. Oh, that's hard.
I totally forgot right before they start.
That shit is hard.
Right before they start.
Knight Rider.
Right before they start. Right before they start the big war, totally forgot Aech pulls out the Iron Giant. You know, like this is the time to pull out the
hold on. Is that the sword thing?
No, the big Iron Giant fucking.
Oh, never mind.
Right, the one that was in the
tall. What game is that from?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Oh, it's a movie. What movie is that from?
The Iron Giant.
Oh, I never seen that thing. That's why I didn't know that one. Okay, I need some context here because when that shit, I was like, "What the fuck?" Because the other weapon was from what game was that from?
The Mecha Godzilla?
No, this little
Godzilla.
sword thing they had. It was early.
He went Full Metal Suit Gundam. The other dude.
Yes. Okay. All right. Hold on. Where was this giant joint from? Though. What movie was that? Y'all talking
Iron Giant.
Yeah. I never saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember seeing it really necessarily. I just remember.
But
I didn't get that. No, I promise you, I didn't.
It's a 99. It's a 99 movie, so that's why
people who are in their early 30s, people who are in their early 30s, late 20s are more into it than us.
Yeah, it's not 100% 80s.
Yeah, I know that. I know. I realized when I said.
If you remember how big it was in that whole basement, it was like there was the top half of the Iron Giant and then the bottom half. So it was like the whole thing together. I mean, it's like twice as big as that entire basement.
Yeah, you know, it's almost as big as Mecha Godzilla.
Wrecking shop pretty big out there for a while. Yeah, and but it was cool. We do get another callback, like as it goes back to the what's it called? Mega Godzilla, right? That's what it's called. Peacock.
Mecha, because it's mechanical. Mecha Godzilla.
Mecha Godzilla.
So that's like a big thing in like Japanese anime. They do a lot of mecha shit like that are real huge. That people like climb inside and they're they fight that.
Yeah,
and it's usually
motherfucking because it's man they've been doing that shit from the jump, bro. The motherfucking Zord. That's where Power Rangers got their Zords from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, bro. My whole life I've been building this shit. It's in my backyard. Y'all want to see it?
Bro, they did a Batman crossover that's like an anime Batman that's Japanese or whatever. I forgot what it's called. Batman Ninja. And at the end of it, they go mecha. And I was like, oh, man. And it ruined it for me.
I mean, what you expect, bro?
I didn't think it was going to go that far. It went pretty far, bro. They got transported back in time and everybody was in feudal shit. And there was like feudal Joker, feudal fucking, like, it was weird, bro.
Oh, real?
Yeah, man. I was tripping. And when they got to the mecha part, I was like, no, they didn't. How are you going to have mechanical shit like that back in feudal Japan? That's where I was already like,
Nah, man.
I was able to suspend belief for Batman traveling back in time.
Hold on. I can explain this, bro. Because in feudal Japan, bro, I'll have you know, revolutionized steel. Have you seen their swords? Right? Yeah. And then they just got into they had some knowledge of steam technology.
Thank you, Dr. Bogard, the PhD with a historian. Like, see, this is a sword.
It's right here. You know what I'm saying? How it slices. Clearly a sword. See, if you have a sword, it goes both ways, right? Double-edged sword. See that? Where do you think the metaphor came from?
Oh man, savage.
Dr.
Mecha Godzilla.
And they think they're gonna get past him. I mean, they're driving hella quick, but swipe with the tail and just completely thrown out of that DeLorean. DeLorean's crashed. And Daito, he's kind of just been chilling and waiting. He's like meditating. And they're like, Daito, we need you now. And then you like see the plane like flying in. Then he puts the rig on. And he's like, we're doing it for Gundam. And
hell yeah. Let's go.
That's when he goes to full Gundam.
Yes.
And I forget what he found, what it was called, but it's this big ass mechanical arm. And it's like, it's a weapon that lets you turn into like a giant character for like 2 minutes or something. So he puts that shit on and just goes to battle with the mecha. And it got wild for a second. Like, I mean, he was holding his own
for 2 minutes.
Yeah, then the 2 minutes goes, and he's like there, and he's all tiny, and grabs them, and he just flips them off, goes out like a G.
That's all we really need. 2 minutes.
Yeah, then he did the fire breathe on him, and then just all to coin. But I mean, Artemis, it was dope when Artemis somehow gets inside the iron. The Iron Giant grabs Artemis, opens it up, shoots out the eyeball. And then throws whatever the hell that is, like, some kind of grenade or something in there.
It's the face. It's like it's those little squishy stress relievers from back in the day.
Yeah, where like the eyes pop out.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of different kinds of them or whatever. That's what it is. But if you notice, she in that instance, her avatar has a birthmark. That way, the bad guy knows her. You know what I mean? What's his name? Nelson.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's the first time her avatar has a thing, and I was like, "What?" I noticed it, and that's when he's like, "It's her," or whatever, and then he blows up.
Yeah. And then we get, so he's done for at least right now until he can respawn. And the Iron Giant gets hit by Aech and like falls over the big lava river, whatever, where there's the whole shit is just like taken out. And they're running all over the Iron Giant to get over. And we get another callback right here because the Iron Giant falls. They make it all the way over, but goes into the lava, and we get the little thumbs up like the Terminator.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great callback.
Yeah, for sure. And
how much coin do you think they paid for that?
I don't know. Well, they made the to use that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It had to be a lot, right? Like everything in this movie, like just all goes into the budget.
A lot of coin.
Hell yeah. And it's funny. What's his name? Shiro or whatever his name is. Got the little boomerang thing and takes off Aech's arm as he's about to shoot him, and all the coins start falling out of his arm. And I never really understood that part. Like, I guess
it's a Sonic and or Mario Brothers callback too. Because when you in Sonic, when you injure them, the rings come out. So it's like callback to both. That's what I took from it.
Definitely. They make it all the way in, and it's crazy. He's it's Artemis and Parzival. And he was like, "You're in IOI, aren't you? You gotta get out of there." And he knows, and like takes her out.
Banging, bro. She was banging the wrong gang, bro.
Yeah, it was the best thing he could have done for her because she was about to get found if the dude didn't come up there. Like, "Hey, Sixer, get back into the respawn," And then she just runs outside and gets the hell out of there officially. And there are so many Sixers like in there. Luckily, he's got one of those. Hand grenades or whatever, and what Shiro's like, "How much did that cost?" "Not as much as it's gonna cost them." And he clears the entire room with this crazy hand grenade. Just one fell swoop, all the portals and everything going in there, just like completely like
obliteration. Bro, I've been saving. Listen, that's good coin spent right there, bro. Listen, I've been holding on this for a minute, for a moment like this.
Hell yeah, exactly. When you absolutely, positively got to kill every motherfucker in the room, except no substitute. And so that was wild right there. And then, oh man, so they see the dude who's the one who's playing. So they finally started playing adventure, and like. So the guy hasn't fallen yet. He's like the last person like in there or whatever, because everybody else like went out to like the battle and the war and all that. And they're just watching them. They're about to, Shiro's about to like shoot him or whatever. And he was like, "No, don't do it." He's like, he's trying to win the game. He's doing it all wrong. And so they knew that he was fucking up. And then he wins the game. And then he falls through because he's not supposed to win the game. He's supposed to find the Easter egg. And he's the one who knows that. And but then everybody, here's the battle right here. Sorrento and Aech, and he's got the catalyst, the thing that kills everybody. And Aech is like, "Hey, wait, you're really gonna do that? Like, you can't do that. That kills me too. I got 10 years worth of shit in me." He wasn't having it. And but Parzival, oh man, he was handling Sorrento. I mean, Sorrento got him with the swift kick. But Parzival beat the shit out of him real quick. Then kicked him right in the nuts. Oh man,
felt that
with the vest on and everything. Like, oh yeah,
he felt that too. He ain't having kids.
But then he kicked him right to where the catalyst is, and he was like, "All right, fuck you."
Together.
Everybody in one fell swoop, taken out. Like, it's crazy when Aech gets taken out. You see him. It's like it's definitely 10 years worth of shit in him. It's like this whole huge ass fucking
horde.
Everything's coming out that motherfucker, bro.
Huge pile of money and weapons and all types of shit
Give
like,
the loot.
Call that a cash.
and
He was like, bruh, you ain't about to fuck me up for 10 years of my shit, bruh. You know how long I've been masturbating to this shit?
and then we get Percival just comes back alive somehow, has no idea what's going on. He's like, guys, I'm still here. And then he finds the coin. He flips it over. And it says
Extra
free
life.
extra life. Yeah. Got the extra life, and it was all because he won a bet with the curator and got that extra.
Oh yeah, early on.
That was what was on the other side of the quarter. It was the extra life.
Oh shit, bro.
Bogard's just realizing.
And then he's going, and he knows that the game's adventure, and everybody's watching him. Nobody is alive. Everybody is dead right now after the catalyst.
They're pissed the fuck too.
And he's playing adventure, and he's explaining what's going on, and everyone's like listening to him, and everybody's watching him. And on the outer world, now Samantha, aka Artemis, meets up with the whole crew, and they're clanning up. They're clanning up now, and they're all in here. They're all in the postal van, but they got to drive around because the fucking IOI. They're all on them. They're out hunting. They're all on him. And finally, when he figures out the Easter egg, he gets it. The whole third key comes, and he's trying to grab the key, but it's like they're smashing him in the car in real life. So he's like getting thrown around. He can't do it. And he's like, Aech, what the hell's going on? He's like, I'm practicing my Mario Kart. What do you think? They're trying to kill him. Man, and they're just going wild in that postal truck. And finally gets it.
Oh, hold on. You mean they're going postal?
Almost. They're going postal on the postal truck.
See what I did there?
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo.
Postal. On the postal truck.
Finally gets the key in there. And it's crazy how there's another test. Like right after that. It's like, all you have to do is come sign here and you own the Oasis and all that. And but he remembers and he turns it down and he says, no, I'm not supposed to do this. This is the wrong thing. And that was like the Willy Wonka moment, like right there.
Fucking Slickinger. What was his name?
Slugworth.
Slugworth, yeah.
Slickinger. That was a park from a rival gang.
Yeah.
Growing up in my childhood. I'm sorry.
Slugworth.
Shout out to my guy Boss Squash though.
So he doesn't sign. He, as Charlie did, he returns the everlasting gobstopper. Same thing. And he's like, you know what? I just had to be sure. And then transforms him to this whole different place where he's like in his childhood, like attic or something like that. And the child him that's playing Atari. You know, who knows what the hell he's playing?
Yep.
And he gets it all.
You know, they wanted to get the guy to play the guy.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know who you talking
Wilder.
about. Oh, Gene Wilder.
You wanted Gene Wilder to play him.
Oh, that makes sense because look at his hair and stuff.
They wanted to do it. Yeah, but he died.
That would have been wild.
He was alive when he wrote the book. I was just saying, but he died.
I know that he was like but he died.
He was alive. It's the circle of life.
Oh man. And he shows them where this button right here, this big red button, if you press it, it cancels the Oasis, it shuts it down, and everything is removed from the server. And like the car hits him and it like almost pushes him in and like stops himself right before he hits it. And it's crazy that this program is like, it's like self-thinking or whatever, because it's like it's definitely reacting to him.
AI.
Yeah, and he's like, don't kill the whole Oasis on your first day, pal.
Right? He's like, oh my God, I own this shit.
He almost did. He was so close. He's like an inch from hitting it.
Oh, well,
I know, because like, there's one time when he was trying to get the key and the van was moving around, and he's like, "Aren't you going to? Don't you want it?" He's holding the key.
Oh man, super wild. And so in real life, they make it all the way to the stacks. They take out they go postal on the postal van, take them out, and Wade's still doing his thing. I mean, he's trying to finish everything. He's getting the Easter egg and all that. And what's his name? Sorrento opens the door. He's got the gun, but it's like he sees Wade's like gloves. And it's almost like the Pulp Fiction like moment where he like opens the briefcase, like kind of his gloves are just like golden, glowing, and he knows that it's like it's that golden Easter egg that everybody's been looking for. He got beat to it.
I found it. That's almost like a Pulp Fiction reference.
He said, "I found
it. It might have been."
He's like, "Okay, I got it."
All these nerds,
like an Indiana Jones one, you know, the Holy Grail kind of.
The Holy Grail.
All these nerds, they were hella tough, right? They all got around. Oh, we're about to beat the shit out of you, Sorrento. He pulls out the gun. Everyone backs up real quick. Everyone
go all the way to the van.
Bro, listen, bro. I'm strapped. Scrap.
It was the wild, wild west in real life too, not just in the Oasis.
Yeah,
you got the gun. Bro. People ain't messing with you.
Was it one of them future guns though, or is
no? It was just a
throwback.
Yeah, it was just a clock.
Yeah, throwback. It was like a 90s issue.
Yeah, like a RoboCop style.
Oh,
could have been. It could have been.
Probably.
And then, I mean, everything's going so slow. Like, if he would have ran up to this, maybe he would have had more time. But it's like this whole slow walk, and it's got to be the sea of people moving out of the way. It's like parting the Red Seas. Opens it, sees the big golden Easter egg in his hand, but he couldn't do anything. He takes too long, and then the cops just show up.
Hear the sirens already right behind him,
and he's done. Dada. He was done either way. He could have still done his vengeance. He could have killed 5 people with 5 bullets.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good shot. At least we think he is.
I mean, well, you know what though? It wasn't his destiny.
And everyone's just like looking at it glowing, and they're like, "Oh, what is it?"
They're all in awe.
It's the golden. It's the. Golden.
He is too though. There too though.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because you know what though, he couldn't believe he got there, bro. Because you know why? If he knew what was coming, because if not, he would at least took 5 people. I swear to God, how much he had? How much he had in the chamber?
I mean, he had to have at least the 12.
He had a full clip in that motherfucker, man. He could have taken out a lot of people.
$500 billion.
The blades of glory.
That is a lot of money. $500 billion is what
that shit would have fucking
pretty much holding in his hand.
It would have pushed out everybody.
And that's it. That is it for Sorrento. He drops the piece when all the cops show up. He's done. He just gives up like a bonus hole. He's not even a badass.
You know, what a fucking go out and play. You know why? How long was Sorrento in the game? They take out Sorrento right there. How much of his shit go? Oh no, this is real life shit.
Yeah.
This is real life shit.
Yeah.
Real life shit. I got my shit together right now.
He already got taken out in the Oasis, but it doesn't matter. It's like they got unlimited money because they're using all their corporate funds.
That is true.
This. Yeah.
And I like it because he is like, it is like he's Big Brother in a sense.
Kind of.
Yeah, you know, because that's another book from the 80s. What was that? 1984? What was the name of the book? 1984. Yeah. That's a good audio book. It's boring, but it's good. Really good.
Yeah. Big Brother's always watching.
And that is it.
Always watching.
And that is it. Percival, he ends up winning the whole challenge. He is officially the owner of the Oasis and all that money. And first thing he says is, I'm splitting it with my clan. And they go down as like a grade 5 or like something like that. Man. And that's their whole crew. Their whole crew.
Like, there's 1 million for you and 1 million for you, and that the rest for me.
And then they meet the curator in real life. And I mean they're pretty thrown back, right? What is his what's his name in here? Hold on.
The actor or
Ogden Morrow. Ogden Morrow.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I know exactly what you're talking about now. I was like, yeah.
Me too. I knew who it was, but I didn't know who
the guy. He was the guy, man.
And it's weird because his face similarly looked like him. I mean, I know it's like a younger version. It's almost like a robot version of him in the Avatar. But yeah, when he changed his voice to it, then they knew. They knew who it was. Oh, Percival.
Didn't see that coming, kind of. First time I saw it.
He was like, but I'm taking the leap. I'm not going to be like Halliday. Had to kiss the girl. Finally, he finally got to kiss her. Like he's been waiting for like years and years for this moment.
That's crazy.
Took him being a half a trillionaire and giving up a fifth of it. You know, he got a kiss out of it.
I mean, listen, but he had to buy that shit.
that was an expensive kiss right there. That's for sure.
Too early. She had that epiphany.
That's a bleak future I don't want to be a part of. Back in my day, we used to get bonus hole the old-fashioned way. And now you guys are playing the game.
Swimming in bonus hole.
Oh, man. Now they are, for sure.
All day, bruh.
So they sign the deals and all that, and then they make some changes. They ban any of the loyalty centers like the IOI. So now they are out. They all dismantled.
They outlawed all the gangs, basically, bro.
Yep, they dismantled. The only way you can be a clan is just by being a clan in there, not by having the whole business and loyalty center and all those fucks. All right, go ahead, Noble. I've been making them wait forever. All right, and and that is it. That is it for them. What do you think about them closing down the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays just to make sure that everyone lived a little bit of a real life?
Yeah, people need, I guess, for the mental aspect of it. I think the movie did that to tell people to take a break.
The great foreshadow.
Yeah, to kind of like a warning to the viewer.
I mean, you know, it sucks because, like, it's about things. It's about the serenity. Somebody please look up the serenity prayer for me.
Oh, please grant me the courage to
somebody look it up, because
tolerate the
grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the courage to change the things I can and the wisdom to know the difference.
Right?
There you go.
See, the Oasis bypasses all that. Because it grants you the ability to try to control everything. That's not real though. That's a metaphor for life, for real. I mean, what we are living in now. Look at me. I'm, you know how you know I'm on the Molly mushroom now. Getting philosophical now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not everyone enslaved to this current, and then you need the currency, whether the currency comes through likes or engagement, or whether or not, you know what I'm saying, you're invested so much, you know what I'm saying, and you put, as far as your investment goes, not even time in this point. It's about like what you accumulated. They're putting a figure to it, right? Because the time ain't even worth it anymore. Because you
like time, bro. He's like, don't erase my file. Like,
exactly, bro.
It's
not even about how much time you put. See,
Minecraft
when you say this is 10 years worth of shit, right? That's when he knows he's about to be dead. That's his last plea, because it's not about 10 years worth of shit, right? I mean, 10 years worth of time you put in it is about the amount of shit, because you could accumulate that amount of shit fast if you were good.
Yeah.
This guy, it took him 10 years. Like, fuck, you about to kill my whole cash. You about to maybe give up my whole cash right now, bro. Well, you suck. Because in that world, you could be, you know what I'm saying? You know what sucks about a world where everyone can get it fast? It's another good metaphor. It's saturated, bro. Everybody's in the way of each other. We're nothing unique. And you know what people lose sight of? Being unique. That's why I love the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fucking analogy, bro. Because out of all the people that is not unique, they're all the run of the mill. You have to find the one guy to pass it on to, because whoever was running it prior was of that ilk. He was a fucking unique one of one. I can't just pass on a fucking virus.
Hell yeah.
The schnozberries need to taste like schnozberries, bro. That's That's fucked up too because that's supposed to be like some innuendo. Anyway.
It is so.
Yeah.
That's why it's funny.
Now, this is crazy. Now, what would you make your avatar? Have you guys thought about this? What would you make?
You ready?
Okay. I thought about it a little bit.
Okay. All right. I am Michael Keaton's head, right? But hold on, we're starting with the head. It's Michael Keaton's head, but it's half Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne, the other half, get this, Beetlejuice, right? Boom.
Savage.
Right? That's my head, right?
That's
and
pretty
then
good.
I'm going with a Ninja Turtle torso, right? Right, just the torso.
Just the shell.
Yes, the torso. I got the shell. It's just the torso, right?
Hella buff.
Yes, yoked. Right? Check this out though. Hold on. And it's clearly the Raphael one though, right? They only I could tell. I always correct people. No.
Well, if it's the
Raphael
torso, it'll have like the initial one.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, but it's dope because I had the torso though, I could put my head, my Michael Keaton like two faces. I can just dunk it, right? I got a Mega Man arm. You know what I mean? The cannon on it.
Cannon. Yeah, the cannon.
Yeah. You feel me?
Yep.
The other arm, I've been thinking about it, right? Because I almost want like mad. Okay, how about this? Here it is. Then my whole bottom half, Ursula.
Savage.
Right?
Savage.
My other left arm, though, I've been like arguing myself, though. You know what I'm saying? But I think because we're going 80s, right? And they didn't really they couldn't reference any Marvel shit at this point, but full just Wolverine arm, adamantium claws, right? You feel me though? We gotta throw that in there, right? It's my always.
You don't get the power, do you?
It can the one arm can rejuvenate, just the one arm. None of the rest of them has the healing properties. You know what
I mean, it's funny when Irock's arm got cut off. When you see him like later, it was like a tentacle or whatever.
Oh, it's growing back.
His arm, yeah,
it's like a little nub.
That's what he patched it up with. No, it was the whole tentacle like that.
Oh, it's a tentacle. Yeah. Oh yeah. The motherfucker that lost his arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just patched it up with the tentacle. Not even.
Yeah. Oh. And while I'm at it, Ryu, fucking headband. Ken hair, right? Thor helmet, right? So get this,
like Thor with a headband.
Okay, yeah, with the headband. So I got the headband on. This costs a lot of money, bro.
No, this would be balling. Like, yeah,
I'm balling, right? Okay, so let me run it back.
Think about it that way, like I could like put all accessories and shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got the Ursula.
You're gonna do that, I have a bunch of
half
stuff on my list, so I'm gonna just go down my list and do it the same way you did.
Go ahead. Go ahead, run that.
Okay, check it out. I got the Wesley Snipes blade haircut.
Okay. Yeah. I like.
This is gonna be fun, dude. This is like Mad Libs because I don't even know what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna go try to go from head to toe, figure it out. Okay. All right, but I got the. Oh, that's not gonna work. Okay, I got.
Go ahead. Let's hear the off the wall.
I got the face paint, like It the clown, but I got the.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
the clown face.
Hold on. The It the clown face over whose face though again?
No, but he has the blade haircut.
Oh, yeah, the blade haircut. Okay, I like. Okay. Oh, so you got It the clown looking fly.
Is the hair red? Is the hair red or is it like
red hair, bozo clown, red hair, in blade hairstyle, like shaved down with tattoos.
Yeah, so you got to change. It's the blade hairstyle, but you change it to red to match the
And stunners on though, right?
Yeah, he has the blade. Yeah, the blade stunners.
Does he have this? Does he have the sunglasses though? And we have eyes on it, like a clown, like googly eyes. Are we doing that? Are we spinning it up?
No. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. He has to be cool. Let's see. Man. He's wearing Zach Morris Reebok pumps.
Okay, those are vintage, bro.
Yeah, for sure. You got
Very expensive, bro.
The white Power Ranger. the white Power Ranger.
The white Power Ranger with the whole suit? Fuck that, bro. I didn't think of that. I saw it, though. It was hella expensive, bro.
With the shoulder pads and shit, like sticking out.
The gold joints.
Fly, bro. Yeah, but instead of the white sash, bro, he has like that Van Damme Bloodsport red sash. All right, we'll just change it up a little bit because I was gonna throw some Van Damme in there. And then he had for the weapon he has the RoboCop gun, the one that comes out of the leg.
Okay. Right out the thigh. And you're not even a robot either. You don't even have a robot leg. It just comes right out the thigh, though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes.
What else do I got? I think that's pretty much.
I didn't think of my weaponry, bro. I definitely have to have the Final Fantasy 7 sword.
The big ass sword.
What do they call it? The gun? What are they? The gun blade. The gun was in the name, actually. For real, though, it was like gun something. You know what I'm talking about, right? That motherfucker was too big for no reason, bro.
No, this is too good, man.
I need several lightsaber hilts.
Eat the clown with blade hair, bro.
Okay, that's a t-shirt.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
Okay, lay it on me.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it all starts with a two-face face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm going half and half. Okay, I see you. I did the half and half.
Yeah, but he's got the Jack Nicholson Joker top hat.
Okay. You start with that already. Okay.
Yeah. And then he's rocking a suit because it's Two-Face, but we're switching it up to the Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal is gonna be one side, and the other side is gonna be Thriller.
Oh,
the red jacket.
So the Thriller is gonna be like the evil.
Hey, Noble, don't you do that?
The Thriller is gonna be like the evil side because that's gonna be like the red, devil side, and then the white one that'll be like, the nicer side or whatever.
If there is one. Joker fedora on though, that shit is hard.
The purple one, hell yeah,
the purple joint.
And then
I want to add a monkey tail, like he's Super Saiyan or whatever, like he's saying, just to my guy. Just throw a tail on there.
And I didn't think about weaponry, but I did think that he's gonna own the strip club in the Oasis.
Okay, I want to own the seas. Oh yeah, okay. You see, I have the Ursula. I'm Ursula's son too. That's my backstory too. I'm Ursula's bastard son. That's why I have her her whole bottom half, right? And then
all the schools, all the circuses,
all
the party places.
Okay, I gotta get into real estate somehow. Okay, you know what? I own all the land. I own all the little I own the little grids.
You own all the land below sea level.
There it is. You know what I'm saying? Because duh. Right? What do you think's above the water? Land.
Well, man, I'm gonna try to draw some of these out, bro.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen. And then I will also be.
What up, PB and waivers?
I'm the craziest landlord too. Here's my other one, right? I'm Mr. fucking Furley, bro.
Oh shit!
I'm Mr. Furley, right? Only I'm yoked, like fucking. Okay, I got Mr. Furley's head, right? Okay, all right, now I'm gonna do the unprecedented half body, right?
So with a yoke to Mr. Furley, it's so stupid.
Hold on.
Come and knock on our door.
I'm half. Hold on, it's Mr. Furley's head on half Apollo Creed, right? Body, right? He's southpaw. Is he south? No, he's not.
He's not.
He's on the right side. And then the left side is Rocky, but from Rocky Part 3.
Oh shit!
No, Part 2. When he went southpaw, so I have the ill southpaw, right? And then we have but we got we got Bret Hart's his singlet on though.
Oh shit!
Yeah. And it's instead of pink and black, it's red and green. Like it's Christmas, bro.
Oh man, call back. Call back.
Ooh, and then I have the Grinch's hat. And then I'm wearing those shoes. I'm wearing peacock shoes. The Grinch's shoes.
Space. Oh, I have those Grinch joints.
Yes, he's wearing the Grinch joints. He's asking for the money, bro. Is he not the Grinch? Where's the rent? I'm telling you, you thought I didn't put thought into this.
Oh man, I need to somehow make this a section.
What's your video game avatar?
I gotta get this whole piece and put it in there.
Yeah, the half body was horizontal. You guys already knew that. I'm just for those that it was a horizontal split. You know what I mean?
I was gonna do some just like a regular one person like Wes Borland from Limp Bizkit. Like that dude was just crazy looking all the time, or like Buckethead, the guitarist. That would be my avatar.
I know exactly what I'm gonna be, and you guys can all be this too, because it can be. It's Bogard scot free, right? But what's the giant version? You make the metal version of him?
The Mecha Bogard scot free.
Bogard scot free. There it is. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude,
and then we'll shout, "It's the Mecha bitch."
It's the Mega bitch. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, dude, then we can all form as one giant.
I'm Drop Dead Fred. That's my avatar, and I jump in the Mecha Bogard, the Mecha Bogey.
It's the Mecha Bogey.
Yes, and I'm just a big ass, giant ass robot, me, right? And I'm just lay down right on the ground. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking up God's skirt, man.
No panties. No panties.
Because God's a woman, bro.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
this one was an awesome one.
I had some honorable mentions, dude. I had like a fat Jim Morrison, Zach Morris.
Jim Morrison?
The fat Jim Morrison. Like the old.
I feel like the Zach Morris phone needs to be a prop somewhere in the Oasis.
For sure. Who else did I have on here? Goku, Neo.
I want to be like Inspector. I want to have Inspector Gadget like qualities too.
Jake the dog.
Like no matter what,
I have Jake the dog here.
Go Gadget. Go Gadget Blunt.
From Adventure Time, Jake the dog, and then I had Skeletor on here also because he's just like a skeleton head, which is cool. Or Ghost Rider. That's dope. That's a dope avatar. My head's just on fire the whole time.
Man.
I mean, hold on. Stay still real quick. Light my joint.
I mean, even going and playing like NBA 2K. Like, I don't know if you guys ever played NBA 2K where they made it to where you could go play the pickup games and shit. And so, man, I always had to go get the fly Jordans on, was always trying to rock a Jordan jersey or something. But man, yeah, wasn't living up to the gear that I was wearing in the beginning. I play a lot of hours before you can.
Hey, crazy friends, check this out, right? I'm out, I'm not insecure about things in life now, but my recall is incredible because I remember the things I was insecure about, right? So, for example, I remember being a kid and I just do my own thing. I wear whatever I want, right? So I'm out there in public, we're getting our hair cut. It's me and my little man, right? And you know what I'm saying? We're at a shop, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like a shop, you know what I mean? And it crosses my mind. I said, man, my son, he don't like getting fly, bro. You know what I mean? I'm over here, we're getting a haircut, but I'm what I'm saying? We got to get a little fly, even though we're getting a haircut. So we get extra fly, right? Then I said, my son, he like to wear the same basketball shorts all the time.
He's Adam Sandler it out there.
And we got a gang of the basketball shorts too, though. Right, he just wear the same ones. It's always clean. And he needs to wear the new one too, all the time. The clean one, I mean, right? But he wants to wear the same shit, and I'm like, damn, I can't even get mad at the kid. You know what I mean?
It's a new thing for Noble where he's got to have his drip now. Like now he's
there. Okay,
he's got like
talking about.
He's got like
That's
the
my son
Nebula
right now.
hat. That's like a cannabis brand. Like out here is one of like the giveaways that I got, but he likes the red and black. So he's got like a hat now. And he's always got to rock a Spider-Man shirt. And then he's got his blue glasses on. He's got his blue shades. And then now he's got his rings also that he's got to wear.
Okay, look at him. Hey, that's hard. See, me when I was a kid, I always dressed as a ninja. Like I wore my ninja shit all the time.
You're wearing Toms.
You have your Hattori Hanzo sword. Do you have your Hattori Hanzo?
Yeah, hell yeah. You know, the one straight from it was fucking, you know, the prestigious joints, bro. The ones that you get from the ice cream truck, bro. You know what I'm talking about?
Hell yeah.
I had a gang of those, bro, to match the fit. And then like, you know, my daddy's like, God damn it, we're going to church. You're not wearing a ninja costume, right? I just have it underneath. You know, just in case I have a mask in my pocket, just in case something pop up, man.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? Just in case someone tries to steal that collection plate, but they didn't know there was a ninja. Put the mask on, bro.
They'd be like, "Oh damn, I didn't know there was a ninja here."
Right? Drop the plate. Drop the collection plate right there, man.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Ooh, God's ninja.
There were like 5 shuriken at him.
You know, Ninja Scroll was one of the first ones that introduced me to like anime as a kid. I was like, ugh.
Oh yeah, bro. I was watching it the other day.
Word.
Yeah, man.
I ain't seen that shit since I was like 8.
Damn.
It's pretty.
I never got into any kind of anime or That's
I'm trying to remember this one, right? There was this one because I had a neighbor, right? Once I got into anime, my neighbor, right? He was like a year older than me. He was like, bruh, you ever seen this one? And he showed me it was this video. We were watching the movie, right? I can't remember what it's called, but the dude, he had a power. We sock you in the fucking. He has a move. He hits you in the face, poof, and now your head's gonna explode, right? You have like a matter of time for your head explodes, right? And then his brother was like a fucking dictator. So he struck his brother with it, right? Because he was like leading a revolution. And then the brother, he had the wherewithal. They put like a fucking like a cage thing on his head. Kept his head together, right? And now he's ruling with an iron fist. And I was like, man, but you know, when he would strike them up in the head, it would explode, some guts and blood, and brains everywhere. Fucking awesome. I was like, oh shit, this is wild.
I just saw one.
As a kid, like, oh shit, that's some shit.
I just finished watching one too, Blade of the Immortal. And the guy was like captured for like 5 episodes, and all they were doing was like dissecting him and fucking cutting him up and putting pieces together with the other random shit. It's like, why, man? What the hell are you watching?
And shout out to my man Ep, right? My man Ep, bro. He was a real serious artist from Chicago,
like
man. Real Ep, shorted for epic, right? My man Ep, right? But what's crazy about Ep is he, you know what I'm saying? He into the anime shit. So and you know me, he'd be like, babe, you gotta watch this. Whoop, whoop, that'll bring you back, bro. I'm like, I ain't been in anime since I was 8 years old, bro. But my kids are into that shit, right? Yeah. I'm buying them the mangas and shit like that. Anyways,
probably gonna be something like anime for Halloween, no joke.
Make a long story longer, right? So he tells me, he's like, this is one joint, and he starts showing me a little trailer, right? And it was like, this motherfuckers, they get on one, bro, on some whatever drug it is, right? And they're all strung out, right? And what's crazy is like, you know what I'm saying? It's like all these like fighters, you know what I'm saying? It's like a world of like warriors, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, to get this fucking your fix, bro, you got to get it from the dope boy, bro. Like, bro, you got to beat his ass, bro. You got to fight this motherfucker for your fix.
Like they got like introductory stuff on Netflix. You can watch like Tekken, like it's there. You can like watch that, and it's like, oh, this shit's based on. Like this shit's based on the video game, and you can like watch, you know, and there's stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
the stories was hard from the video game, though, bro. The Tekken shit they made it.
Well, that's okay, you know. But I'm saying like if you want to start getting into it again a little bit, and being like, you know, that's one to start. But there's some other ones that I really like Castlevania has one.
Street Fighter shit.
Oh shit, the Castlevania one came out already. That's what I'm gonna fucking
watch.
Oh,
real?
Right yeah, it's
the dude that runs around naked. Oh no, Castlevania. Never mind.
Oh, you're thinking of goblins. You're thinking of ghosts and goblins or ghosts and ghouls.
Yeah. Hold on. The Castlevania, though. What?
Yeah, Castlevania already has 4 seasons, but this one's another one. It's like it's a sequel or whatever, and it's Simon Beaumont or whatever. Belmont. He's like one of the descendants from the 4 seasons that had already happened or whatever. That shit goes hard. There's another one, Blood of Zeus. If you like Greek mythology and shit like that, that one's fucking dope. Like that one goes badass.
You know,
like,
Greek mythology, they're all aliens, man.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy shit. There's like demons and fight for good and evil. Zeus is like raping chicks. Like it's Blood of Zeus.
You know, it's funny because that's exactly spot on from the actual mythology.
Yeah, that's why it's like no holds.
Hey, you know, Zeus would have hella children. He wouldn't even want them. He'd just eat them.
So that's what this one's about, dude. Like, so one of his spawn,
so they just live in his stomach.
He has 2. Check it out. He has a kid with this lady, and she has 2 children, and one of them is like turned away, like, you know, shunned or whatever. And he like goes off and he gets this calling, and he drinks or eats the flesh of a dead beast or whatever the fuck, and he becomes like this demon overlord, and he like raises like some zombie army, and he leads a fight against his other brother that is raised as like Zeus's like, you know, son in the, you know, the good or whatever the fuck, and that's what it's all about. It's crazy.
See,
and it's like true. It's like a.
We need a podcast where you do summaries of this, and I just go.
Yeah, I gotta go back and rewatch it. It's dope.
No.
Oh yeah.
Okay, ratings.
All right.
Ready Player One?
Yeah, go ahead, Peacock. So the way that we do the ratings around here is it's a buy. It's a 5-star. You love it. If it's a 5-day rental, that's like, I'd say like a 4-star. Really, really like it. A 2-day rental, that's like a 3-star, like maybe. Same day rental, that is like thumbs down. I got to get this thing like out of my possession right now.
Got you. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of this film. That's why I offered to kind of come on here and do this one. So this one would be a buy for me, just because of the Easter eggs. Like you can go back and rewatch it. The rewatch factors is there. The action scenes, and then going back, like I said, and doing the Easter eggs. I saw it for the second time earlier, and I was like, man, I gotta watch it on a bigger TV and come back and rewatch it with higher sound and not get distracted and stuff. So I could kind of pay attention a little bit more to, because I did pick up on some things that I'd missed the first time around. So I'm sure, you know, in the 3rd or 4th watch, I'll be able to do that again. So I would consider buying it. It's one of those things that I would, like, you know, it's a good movie to put into the collection, and I think it fits the realm of, you know, things that you like. You got the pop culture. It has references to old movies that I like, and then of course all the gaming stuff is, you know, right up my alley. So it's one of those movies I think that hits on a bunch of different levels. So one of the ones that I probably most definitely, if I saw it in a video store and I had a DVD player, you know, and those things are still around, that's what I would do.
Hell yeah. And this one's definitely a buy for me. I actually did buy this just to make sure to watch it. Got it on DVD, so I can keep building the physical collection as well. And yeah, I mean, it's everything about this movie is a 5-star. I mean, it feeds our love of video games. I mean, just growing up in the 80s and the 90s, like in the early 2000s, all about the video games and all the references to like everything cool, like in pop culture, at least that, you know, that we remember. I mean, the DeLorean, that hooked me real early, you know, with the references, him having the DeLorean, and then the whole race, just the Jurassic Park, the King Kong, the like, just all the references. Fucking love it. And yeah, so it's a buy, 5-star. I mean, there's not too many movies that say is like a perfect movie, but like this movie does not have too many flaws other than the ones that I mentioned, that maybe it needed to be longer. Maybe it needed to like explain a couple things a little bit more of how they got to certain parts of the movie. But
nowadays they do, you know, two-parters and to be continued with a lot of theatrical releases, like the latest Spider-Man installment and a lot of the Marvel Universe stuff. So they might have been able to chop it into 2 movies and still gotten a good reaction, but who knows? I think it's still decent for the allotted time that it had. So yeah, that'd probably be my only gripe. Maybe, you know, knowing that it's based off of a book and there's a bunch of other stuff that they probably missed, then yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's the thing though too, is like when they sign on, when they sign his publishing deal, right? They signed the movie deal same time.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be the book iteration and the movie iteration immediately. And when you sign that over, right, the rights, now you're signing over the liberties for them to do
so like take
the source,
like, hey,
and
we're
they
gonna
use the source
take the
material,
source material and expand.
Yeah, and then remix it. Which is it's Hollywood, and I learned that the hard way being a Marvel fan, because it's like, man, how angry were we when they were doing everything wrong? You know what I mean? Or like how they would try to like even going back like when I really had an appreciation for Batman as I got older. And it was probably because the animated series really was solidified for me as a kid. You know what I mean? But when I got older, I had an appreciation for it. I started realizing, like, man, it's fucked up how they just kill a Joker. Right? The first movie, like, ever, right? They're like, just kill him off, right? Because it's like, it's Hollywood. You don't know it's gonna last. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit pisses me off. And then the irony of that is like when they knew the mega box office smashes it's going to be by the time they got to the Dark Knight, they plan to have a whole series of movies with Heath Ledger, and then ironically he dies in real life. Right? They go from killing villains off in the movies at the end, just put a nice little bow on things, and that's how most of those fucking, like, even in the first X-Men, like, you got Wolverine fighting. Like, as a kid, I'm really upset with this. It's Wolverine, he's fighting Sabretooth, it's epic. But it's just, and I understand, Wolverine doesn't remember anything at this point. They're
not even like brothers,
right? But it's like Sabretooth does, right? But he's not like, it's just they don't explain it or anything, and then they just kill Sabretooth like it's nothing. And it's like, first of all, he can't just exactly die like that, but they just kill him. You know what I mean? That really made me fucking mad. It really grinded my gears, bro.
The X-Men movies are done poorly.
Really poorly. And that's why I'm looking forward to Deadpool, because the one thing about what's the guy, Kevin Feige, he was part of the staff, part of the regime, right? We'll go fantasy football with it. He was part of the regime that brought.
He comes from the directing tree.
Yes. And listen, but he's the Belichick of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right, Buggy.
Literally fucking with Star Wars shit.
I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna own it. That's my rating. All
right, that's it. No why, no nothing.
Yeah, that shit's hard. That's why. That shit dumbass hard. I've only watched this movie inebriated on psychedelics every time I watched it, from the time it was in the theaters and we watched it at the drive-ins to the time that I fucking watched it again last night and then earlier today. Hell yeah. I'll never watch this movie sober.
All right, let's get up out of here and go subscribe to the podcast. Apple Silver Screen Breakdowns on Apple, on Spotify. Go to fantasyfootballhustler.com and you can just find everything right there. Peacock, you're the man. Thanks for stepping in for Nelly Nell, who had to handle some biz at his day job. And remind everyone about everything you got going on and where to find you and buy all your t-shirts.
Of course, got a lot of graphic design work going on at the neonpeacockmerch.com. Right there on your screen, there's actually a little sale going on. Go hit that up before time expires, but you can find all your cool stuff associated with the site here and my good friends, Fantasy Football Hustler and Bogard Scott Free in the universe. Go check all that stuff out. Oh, Doctor, excuse me. Doctor Bogard Scott Free. But go do that. Check it out. And you can find us, here on the channel occasionally. And be on the lookout for H-Town Huddle. And be doing that soon.
Yeah.
And Bogey, why don't you sign us off?
Coin, give me money.
Yeah.
That's double entendre. That doesn't make sense, huh?
It
does. Okay.
Is it or is it not?
Oasis, give me money. Oasis, give me coin.
Yeah. See you next week. Peace out.
I like that one.
motion picture shit. This ain't a dream, we really live this shit. Don't intervene, yo, we with this shit. That's word of most high, we the